All right, everybody, welcome back. If you're watching on Star Fun Stream, more action coming your way after a fantastic pay-per-view event, rematch season, in which Brooke Seabrand and Noelle McCallion made championship history, avenging their prior losses and taking home championship gold. But now we're back with you with more great action coming your way. Here we see Lorenzo Vasquez Avalos, Flaco, translates to skinny, 2-0. Both wins by knockout, 100% finish rate. At a round 2 TKO over an 0-5 opponent, and a round 2 TKO over an opponent making his debut in Carlos Manuel Soto Nunez. So thus far the opposition, if you do the math, has had an 0-5 record. Vasquez will be tested here. This will be his first time fighting a 6-round fight. It is also his first fight in the United States and his first fight against an opponent with a professional win. Started way back at age 9. And we'll see if he can make his U.S. debut in grand fashion.
Deni Davtian.
Deni Davtian, 4-0. 3 of his wins by knockout, so 75% finish rate. Coming off a unanimous decision victory over then 6-6 Brandon Mendoza. That fight took place on the Santa Monica Pier, and what a phenomenal scene that was. Davtian was cut in that fight, rallied back and won the unanimous decision. 3 consecutive knockout wins to start his career, including a round 1 KO of Jeremiah McCoy. Originally out of Kharkiv, Ukraine, now fighting out of Glendale, California. His trainer, Roma Kalatorian, notable trainer, also trains the undefeated IBF junior middleweight champ. And Bakram Murtazaliev. So great learning tree, great corner, everything going his way thus far. Perfect 4-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a battle of the undefeated, 6 rounds scheduled in the super lightweight division. The judges are Tiffany Clinton, Dr. Lou Moret, and Giovanni Varela. Our referee in charge, third man in the ring, will be Thomas Taylor. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing white, green, and red, and weighted officially at 139 pounds. Fighting out of East Los Angeles, California, by way of Michoacan, Mexico. Let's welcome Lorenzo Flaco Vasquez Avalos. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black trunks and weighed in officially at 141.4 pounds. Coming to us from Kharkiv, Ukraine, he is undefeated with 4 wins. 3 of his 4 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Deni Davtian.
All right, coaches, boxers, we're going to the middle of the letters here on both sides, all right, guys? You got my instructions in the back. Protect yourselves at all times. Listen to my commands. Touch them up.
All right, everyone, Todd Kennelly here with the call of the action. They called the bullpen, and I came in. We had Ray Flores, who called the pay-per-view portion, and the original 2 fights that were right here on Star Fun. He's an avid Bears fan. He's from Chicago. He had to catch a red eye because he is going to the Bears-Browns game. He's going to brave the negative 20-degree wind chill tomorrow morning. But we're here with more hot action here in super sunny Southern California. And you can see the reach there of Davtian. Again, undefeated, 4-0. His opponent's a combined record of 8-1, so he's faced some stiffer opposition than has his opponent, Flaco Lorenzo Vasquez Avalos. This one's set for 6 rounds in the super lightweight division. The first fight on U.S. soil for Avalos. 2-0, undefeated, but will be tested for the first time here, no doubt about it. Davtian, a great camp, and originally out of Ukraine, now fighting out of Glendale, and of Armenian descent. There's so many great Armenian fighters here in the Southern California region, whether it be in the squared circle for the sweet science or in the world of MMA. And Davtian establishing that jab, so effective. Blitzing in with the body shot there is Avalos. Battle of the Undefeateds. We're at Ace Mission Studios. Again, what a pay-per-view card it was. Revenge season. And revenge was had by the likes of Brooke Sebrian and Noel Michaelian, who avenged past losses and won championship gold in the process. And that reach is going to be a factor. You saw it there as Davtian just stuck him with that jab. Going back to it, looping right hand attempt by Avalos. He's going to have to get inside that reach to be effective. Referee Thomas Taylor in there. And you see the snap of the jab. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. If you get stuck with that jab by Davtian, your head is going to be snapping back. Beautiful timing there on the counter punching by Davtian as well. Starts to pick him apart a bit. And Davtian, you know, has a very large frame for this weight class. Look at that height. Davtian only faced one opponent with a winning record. That was back in his debut when he got a knockout win over William Davis, who was 2-1 at the time. Final seconds here of the first round. This one's scheduled for 6. Avalos attempting to go to the body, and that jab is the difference maker for Deni Davtian. You see the blood was streaming from the nose of Vasquez Avalos. He tried to use the overhand right, did Avalos, and easier said than done. He's going to have to find a way to get inside that reach of the 4-0 undefeated Deni Davtian. Davtian, 22 years of age, full 8 years younger than his opponent as we take a look back at the action here. 1-2 there by Davtian. See if we see any of those stiff jabs. Nice quick right hand by Davtian. There you see, you know, throw those looping shots in there. Beautiful timing on the counter by Davtian. Caught him with 2-3 counter shots there after making Vasquez Avalos miss. So we'll see if adjustments were made in their respective corners. Round 2 coming your way. Again, the undefeated 2-0, Lorenzo Flaco Vasquez Avalos out of the blue corner on the left of your screen, taking on Deni Davtian, 4-0, out of the red corner. Davtian again, utilizing that reach. He is going to tenderize the nose of Vasquez Avalos if this continues. Just putting in the work. Nice counter there, though, by Avalos. He's game, I'll tell you what. He's tough. And Avalos isn't used to losing. Again, both fighters come in 2-0. The O's got to go for 1. But mentioned earlier, the strength of opposition for Davtian certainly better. And that jab finds its mark time and time again. Avalos is going to have to, he's trying to get some head movement going there, and he's going to have to. That is coming right down the pipe. High heat across the plate, and it is catching him time and time again. And On the jab out in his own right there was Avalos. But if you're Davtian, if it ain't broke, why fix it? You know, he can jab at will and get Vasquez Avalos on his back feet, and you can see again, you get that other angle, the starting of the making of a Crimson Mask for Lorenzo Vasquez Avalos. Been a great weekend of boxing here at Ace Mission Studios. Up Next Fighting held a full 12-fight card last night, and then of course the big rematch season, championing mental health, big-time title fights right here in Southern California, which has been one of the meccas of the sweet science for many years. Vasquez Avalos certainly game, staying right there in the pocket, but that is a great weapon that Davtian brandishes, that jab. I mean, you can see it. He's got Mr. Fantastic-like reach out of that jab. This right-hand counter, though, by Avalos. He's tough. He's durable. Keeps eating those jabs. He stays right in there. Don't see him on his bicycle yet. Final seconds of the round. And trying to find angles here is Avalos, but finds himself more often than not on the receiving end of that snapping jab of the 4-0 Deni Davtian. So 2 in the books. Cool, calm, and collected is Deni Davtian. He's working off the jab. And he would say the most important punch in boxing. And using it to great success here as we look inside the corner here of Lorenzo Vasquez Avalos. Gonna have to try and find a way to get something up. Now inside the corner of Deni Davtian. Again, Roma, very notable trainer, current world champion. Looking back at the action here, the jab has been the difference. Utilizing it extremely efficiently is Deni Davtian. Round 3 coming your way. This one's scheduled for 6 as part of a big night of fights. Rematch season was live on pay-per-view, and we're here with you doing the same on Star Fun Stream. So you saw the 42-year-old Badu Jack, who was then the cruiserweight champ, put the title on the line, came up short in the rematch with Noel McKillian. But here we got 30-year-old battling a 22-year-old, 2 hungry athletes looking for a win, looking to protect that undefeated record. You know, so effective with the jab is Davtian, but I'd like to see him up the output after, you know, start throwing combinations off that jab. There you see it right there. Through the jab at first, and there, nice hook by Davtian. So now, you know, you're seeing a little more variety out of the shots by Deni, and I mean, why not? He's got to be completely comfortable in there. You can see the damage being worn all over the face of Avalos, and it's going to be tough for him to catch a breath. You know, it makes it to where you're breathing out of your mouth, then you're susceptible to those other shots, potential knockout. And 3 of the 4 wins of Davtian in the past have come by way of knockout. Davtian putting in work, and it's a tough step up in competition for Avalos. Again, 2-0, both wins by knockout for Avalos, but his previous opponents 0-5 and a pro debut. So a whole nother ball game here in the U.S. debut. But I give a lot of credit to the toughness of Lorenzo Vasquez-Avalos by staying in there. And again, both of his victories come by way of knockout. So as long as he stays in the pocket, he's got that puncher's chance. But he is got an ever-growing pit on the cards he's got to climb out of. Threw a nice combination there, though, little 1-2. But again, right back to the jab. Look at that. Tripling it up is Davtian. Blood streaming all over the face of Vasquez-Avalos. Tough sledding here for Avalos thus far. Third round, final seconds. And the recipient of the surgeon-like precision, and a nice shot there by Davtian to put the exclamation point on the third round. Halfway home, runaway on the cards, you gotta believe thus far for Deni Davtian. But Avalos is proving how tough he is. I have been joined at the broadcast position by none other than Steve Bash. Steve, what a weekend of professional boxing here in Ace Mission Studios. First time in this venue, it's been phenomenal. And, you know, major championship bouts. A great weekend starting last night with Up Next, and then, of course, tonight with Rematch Season.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. I think we're all crazy and insane for doing 2 shows in 2 nights. I think 27 fights, 54 fighters, a world title fight. Female international world title fight, but I think our whole crew is going crazy. Some of them have literally left, so I'm here with you, Todd.
Hey, I appreciate it. I'll take the help. You know, they called the bullpen, they brought me in, and everybody deserted me. But we got more great action coming away. Oh, hold on. Now we got Showtime Sean Porter.
Showtime Sean Porter's
ladies
back.
and gentlemen.
We're gonna have some fun now. Yeah, did I ever tell you guys I've never done this before? Yeah.
First time for everything. And guys, I don't know if you were paying attention in the back, but thus far it's been all about the jab of Deni Davtian. He's just completely controlling his opponent with it. And see, he's busted open the nose there of Vasquez-Avalos, but Avalos is a tough out.
Yeah, Davtian, this is the 3rd fight that I've promoted for him. Just fought in Santa Monica Pier recently, and obviously the first thing that comes with Deni is his height and his reach. And a lot of fighters haven't had an answer for it. But he's probably in for the toughest test of his career in this fight. So this is always going to be a very interesting fight to watch.
I thought I recognized that kid. I remember broadcasting for Deni's last fight. And, you know, I said this then. I remember saying this. I like a kid that knows what he has and knows how to use it. And there's not a lot of tall, rangy fighters out there like Deni that know how to use that jab. And like he just did right there, step around, get the fighter starts to come at you, and he just moves around. Thank you. And he just moves around and manages the ring and manages the fight as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see, you know, as he progresses in his career, because he was 1 pound over yesterday at the weigh-in, and you know, you look at a guy this tall, and you know how he can make 140 is pretty amazing.
Jeez. Freakish size for that weight class, and it certainly doesn't look like it slowed him down at all trying to cut weight. As he's very fresh throughout.
Bash, are you working with Deni?
I'm not working with Deni just because when I promote my shows, you know, I've got a saying that I've got my own 2 kids and I don't have any more boxing kids these days at my age.
I got you.
But you know, I'm a white label promoter to a lot of folks that you know want to put their fighters on. And Deni's camp, you know, out of KD MMA, we work very closely for UNF for Up Next Fighting. They have a lot of MMA fighters out of the gym. And his trainer Roma, who's got the world champ at 154, Lozano, I think. You know, whenever I schedule a show, there's certain guys that always call and said, "Hey, can I get my fighter on the card?" And so they're very reliable folks. They don't turn down tough fights. So you know, it's one of those guys where when you say, "Hey, I got a 2-0 guy," I don't know much about him, but he's actually pretty tall himself. And you know, they said yes, and you don't get a lot of that in the business, especially in the 4- and 6-round levels.
Right. Yeah. So for Avalos, the thing for him is he's just going to keep pushing forward. He's going to take everything that Deni's throwing out because Deni just doesn't have the kind of power. He doesn't punch with power, and he doesn't really have a lot of snap. So the reason why I asked you if you work with him, you know who he works with. Tell them, do not hold this man's strength back. okay? If he's 22 years old, he's bound to get bigger, okay? When you're 6 foot tall, at some point, your muscle is gonna fill in that weight. Here's what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to hold him at 140 pounds to give him a championship title at 140 pounds. It's not necessary. Let him grow naturally and help him become the athlete that he's supposed to become. If he's already a pound over, sure, there's a mistake that you make. You don't get on that protocol soon enough, things of that nature. But to me, that's a sign that, hey, you're probably fighting in the wrong weight class anyway.
He certainly has the frame to put on that size. Let's take a look back at the action, and there you see it. A stinging jab, and Avalos just hasn't had an answer for it, gentlemen. Avalos tries to throw those big winging shots and just can't get inside the reach.
Yeah, but the thing we also see is that Avalos walks through the jab. He takes the jab, but then he keeps coming. You know, he's got to develop some power.
Well, he's got to have power to, you know, keep guys off him, because, like, look, you know, Sean Porter, like, if there's a guy that comes in forward aggressive, regardless of a height discrepancy, like, you know, even guys like Paul Williams, you know, who was obviously always taller for a welterweight class and stuff like that, there are certain style fighters where if you don't have that power, you know, you're going to have a rude awakening by just, you know, staying with the same style that you've gone through early in your career.
I was 5'7", fighting at middleweight, and I was fighting guys who were 6 foot tall, 6'4". I fought probably as tall as I think 6'6", and I was able to knock those guys down, knock those guys out. But it was because I was a little guy with a lot of power, a lot of muscle.
Well, the bigger they are, as they say,
the harder they fall.
Indeed.
That's not happening tonight, though. Then he's all right tonight.
Well, if Showtime Sean Porter was in a David and Goliath type situation, yeah, you had a hell of a slingshot there.
Yeah.
But, you know, to your point, though, if Deni Davtian continues to fight opposition that will walk through that jab and connect with power, it could pose an issue.
Yeah. I mean, that's what Paul Williams was. Paul Williams was a guy with a high work rate. He was tall and long, and he had some serious pop. So, but Deni's really handling Avalos. He knows what he's doing. I like the way he boxes. He believes in his size. He believes in his speed. And on top of that, he doesn't mind punching, you know? You get a lot of guys who are tentative and don't really want to go for the action. Deni likes it.
He does, and he works so effectively off the jab, but Sean, would you like to see some more variety and combinations off of that jab? Or just if it ain't broke, why fix it?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, I think moving forward, he's always going to be lead hand heavy. So it should always be jabs. It should be hooks off of the jab, you know, up and down. Everything should work off of that front hand. And then eventually he'll develop some power in that right hand. And when he delivers it, guys are going to just stand still for a moment.
Avalos did catch him with a nice little shot to the body. You can see some redness there on the left ribs there of Davtian. So that might be the go-to for Avalos to try and climb back into this fight, try and chop down that big beanstalk.
Yeah, I mean that was written before this fight, even before they got to the ring. You know, you're getting in the ring with somebody who's 6 foot. It starts from the bottom up. You know, so.
Trying to bully himself in there now is Avalos. Again, this is his first fight in the U.S.
Bash, everybody took off on you, huh?
Listen, it's been a long 2 days, so I don't blame anybody. You know?
I'll tell you, Sean, I think you're the MVP of the commentary team. You were joining us last night on UNF 29. You went wire to wire on the pay-per-view, and you're still looking for more fun.
You know, more than anything, I'm looking for a bonus. You know? No, I love it. I love doing this. I really do. So I don't mind. You guys need the help, I got you.
We got one round to go here. Deni Davtian has been in cruise control, utilizing that jab. And here you can see the effects. Blood streaming from the nose, his corner working on it. A lot of swelling, and Avalos, it's been an all-you-can-eat jab buffet for Vasquez Avalos.
Absolutely, and as it should be. And he stands up in the corner in between rounds. He's strong. I really like Deni as a fighter, as a person. He's a really good kid.
He's got some good pedigree. I think you know, it'll be interesting to see once. I think this is his first 6-rounder. So it'll be interesting to see once he steps up to 8 and 10 rounders.
Yep, it is indeed.
Oh, I didn't realize he's originally from the Ukraine.
Yeah, yeah. So he's Armenian, but he was, I think, born and grew up in the Ukraine.
Oh.
I speak some Russian, so we're always speaking Russian to each other.
Wow. Jack of all trades, you are, sir.
Yes, master of none, though. That's my problem.
I'm a king of all trades and a master of them as well.
Little desperation time here in the final round for Vasquez Avalos, as it certainly would take a finish on his part to win this fight. So see if he goes for broke and leaves it all on the line.
You got to give both guys credit. I mean, even Vasquez Avalos, you know, had his first 2 fights in Mexico, and but fought an 0-5 guy, and so they're both stepping up. I mean, I love making fights where you know, a 6-rounder is 2 undefeated fighters. You don't find that too often.
I'm seeing this more and more, and I'm loving it. Boxing is starting to match guys who are on the same level, and I really like that, opposed to this A side, B side that, you know, we've become notorious for over the years. And I do believe that both these guys are on the same level.
Yeah.
You can see that there's one who's a little classier, a little more, one who's a little more conventional and knows his way around the ring a little more, and Deni. But for the most part, Avalos can give just as much as he's getting. I'm so good at this. It's crazy.
Take a lot of punishment, that is for certain. And continuing to go to work here is Davtian. He's got under a minute and a half to work here. Davtian, again, 3 of his 4 wins have come by knockout, but he seems happy to just pick apart the opposition here en route to victory.
Except for a few flurries, it just seems like Davtian's, you know, really got the distance game going.
Avalos is a dangerous guy, though, if you just let him stick around. He threw that big looping overhand right there, and Davtian's got to be leery.
Listen, the kid's 30 years old. He's only 2 fights into his professional career. He's dumb enough to do that right there.
Testament to the heart of both, as you mentioned there, Steve, that this is the first 6-rounder for both fighters. Yeah. And they came in prepared, no doubt about it, ready to go to war.
You got to love a fighter that, you know, if his corner is telling him you're losing on the cards and you got to do something in this final round, like, you know, Vasquez Avalos is definitely listening and doing everything he can.
He's throwing everything, and you can see here that Davtian bathing in the blood of his opposition as well. He has opened up that nose with the jab throughout the fight.
Those trunks were not that red when he walked into
No,
this
they
fight.
were not. No, they were not indeed.
I'll tell you what else is impressive. Usually when that main event ends, everybody leaves. Everybody stuck around, man. This is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I overheard, you know, a fan at ringside as this fight getting close and comes to a close. A lot of times, like you mentioned, post-main event, the ring announcer say, hey guys, we got 5 more bouts, and you'll kind of hear a collective groan. Yeah. I heard some fans go, oh, 5 more bouts? They were excited.
So I'm not going to take total credit of that, but I do have a little bit of influence on the bout order, and I definitely wanted to have you know, some of the guys after our main event be some of the guys that also have, you know, have a local following, and honestly, there's some of the better fights. So like the Anguiano Bahena fight coming up is a fight that I've actually been looking forward to. I wish it was happening earlier tonight, but I do know that you know, a lot of true boxing fans will probably be here after midnight, guys. I apologize in advance, but I think a lot of folks will stay.
It's all good. We take a look back at some of the action now. Precision stuff.
And it's more calculated, too. You know, that's something else that I like about Deni. He doesn't have this long frame and just throws whatever. You know, he's calculated. He takes the right risks at the right time. And, you know, he knows how to use his legs, his feet, and his hands all together. So he's got good upside.
And almost always, he's not just throwing the jab, right? He's always following up with that right hand. So, like, you know, he's looking for action. Like, he's looking to score points, and he's not afraid of you know, what's coming next.
And you know, and a great test for Deni as well. You know, lasting all 6 in his first 6-rounder, putting in the work, and really dominating from stem to stern. But see how it all plays out here momentarily. We're going to head back into the ring to make it all official. Take it away, Thomas.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards, and all 3 judges, Dr. Lou Moret, Tiffany Clinton, and Giovanni Varela, are in agreement They all scored the same 60-54, all for your winner by unanimous decision and still undefeated, Deni Davtian.
Deni Davtian advances to 5-0, goes the distance in his first 6-rounder. Efficient stuff there. Gets the job done.
I think, you know, it's an interesting early career of Deni Davtian. You know, he's pitching shutouts. You know, the question is, like Sean mentioned, is, you know, is he going to get that home run punch or that slugger power on the hitting side, right? It's almost like Shohei Ohtani. Like, yeah, he's pitching shutouts. He knows how to basically get through those innings. But you know, is he going to have to come to a point where, you know, he's going to have to develop some power to really, you know, keep the right type of or the wrong type of boxers from facing him.
Yeah, base hits so far. We'll see if he can turn into a home run slugger. Things going his way, and the other question is, yeah, does he stay down in this weight class? Or does he, you know, hit the weights and put on some size and move up? Time will tell, but everything going his way thus far, of course, undefeated. We're going to keep things rolling. More great action coming your way here as the undefeated Samvel Gandilian, 7-0-1, battles Escorpion. Roberto Pucheta coming up next.
Let's first welcome to the ring, Roberto El Escorpion Pucheta.
35-year-old Roberto Pucheta, a Scorpion. We'll see if the Scorpion can sting here. He has 8 times before. 8 of his 14 victories coming by way of knockout. 27 losses, but he's only been finished once. And he was finished by future 3-division world champ Emmanuel Navarrete. So he's faced, you know, tough opposition. In fact, guys, in the course of his career, he has faced no less than 20 undefeated fighters.
I'm still stuck on Scorpion. I said, I'm over here, I'm like, man,
Then I looked at it, I said, oh, that's his nickname. And in Spanish, it's pronounced a scorpion. I was like, so that's where I was stuck at. But yeah, we got some experience getting in the ring tonight. We've had that through the course of the night. It's been a fun night of boxing, and don't think it's stopping anytime soon.
No, from a promoter's point of view, this is you know, the type of opponent that you know, we find that you know, for an undefeated fighter that really is going to put up a test, and his nickname's apropos because every Scorpion stings, and he's beaten a 7-0 fighter you know, a couple years ago, and he's always got, you know, that type of experience to you know, potentially upset somebody.
We don't say things like apropos, okay?
well, now, so
let's meet his opponent.
And now let's welcome to the ring, the undefeated Samvel, the baby-faced assassin, Gandilian.
I'm sure you would have liked to mention that Pucheta also faced Diego De La Hoya back in the day in 2017, but Steve, your thoughts on Samvel Gandilian?
Samvel Gandilian is coming from the exact same gym that Deni Davtian just set up. I don't know how we scheduled 2 back-to-back fights. I think his trainers are probably going to be upset at me, but they're going right back into the corner with another very you know, big prospect out of their KDMMA stable.
Well, strike while the iron's hot, and it has been for Samvel, 7-0-1, 3 of his wins coming by knockout, although he's coming off of a unanimous decision over Brandon Sandoval. Had a win over Adam Gonzalez, who was 5-5-2 as well. That took place in Pomona Fox Theater. 19 years of age, another talented youngster here in the SoCal scene.
Yeah, he's coming back real quick. He was on our last show, October 10th, I believe, for Red Owl Boxing. And, you know, like I've told you with Davtian in that gym, you know, you work with certain trainers, you work with certain gyms that, you know, are always responsible. And even, you know, when you set them up, not set them up, but, you know, match them with a really tough guy, they're ready to fight.
Yep, originally out of Russia, and again with Armenian descent, as we set the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the super featherweight division. The judges are Tiffany Clinton, Edgard Lopez, and Dr. Lou Moret. Our referee in charge will be Jerry Cantu. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with gold and weighed in officially at 124.4 pounds. Coming to us from Mexico City, Ciudad de Mexico. He is a veteran of 44 professional bouts. Let's welcome Roberto El Escorpión Pucheta. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with red and weighed in officially at 125.8 pounds. A native of Russia, he is now fighting out of Glendale, California, and is undefeated with 7 wins, 1 draw. 3 of his 7 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Samuel, the babyface assassin Gandilian.
Pantalones un poco más alto. Estás aquí, legal, right here, legal. Your pants, your shorts are a little high. Right here is legal. Gentlemen, you were giving me.
Hail the tape now. We see how these two match up. Undefeated. Gandilian puts that undefeated mark on the line here against a very, very durable veteran opponent.
Well, you definitely see the round disparity there, and you know, Pucheta. I'll tell you, you know, story about Pucheta is we weren't sure he was going to be taking this fight because we were waiting for a fight about 2 weeks ago that he was involved in, and we want to make sure that he came out okay before he could fight tonight.
Gary Cantu had the shortest retirement in the history of boxing.
So this is his last night. It wasn't his last fight.
But he took his plaque and he's back.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just call him like I see him. But you know what is it with KD MMA and these long raging talented young fighters? We see it again here with Samvel, 6'4.5".
Oh, that's down. Yeah.
That was quick, and certainly, though, in his time, and that's saying something too, because Pucheta has only been finished once, guys.
Yeah, Los Angeles area is obviously, you know, big Armenian community out here, and there's certain gyms, you know, that there's a kind of a waves of certain gyms that, you know, a lot of Armenian or Russian Armenian fighters will flock to. KD MMA has definitely become one of them, with Bakram Murtazaliev as a world champion, and you know, unfortunately the late Vanis Martirosyan was trained by Roman, who's in the corner of Samuel tonight, and so you know, definitely a pipeline of folks that you know, boxers that come out of that gym and are looking to get to the next level.
Pretty wicked body shot thrown in there by Pucheta, and trying to chop down the tree here. Is going to have to get inside that reach of Samvel. Now, is it common for a gym to be so prolific when it comes to both boxing and MMA?
It's about
the coaching. It's about, you know, who's in the establishment. You know, it is not that common. However, you know, same thing for me. Back home in Cleveland, you knew where the best gyms were, and that best gym just produced champion after champion after champion. And it wasn't a thing about somebody being a champion and going there. It's just that's what's bred because of the system. And Samvel is in a great system.
Yeah, Samvel at 5'8", you know, fights a lot taller because he's in there with an opponent that's 4 inches shorter. And but I'll tell you, Pucheta is certainly game.
He's got blood trickling down his nose, but he's still coming forward.
It does. Almost like a repeat of what we just saw in terms of Samvel utilizing that jab. Trying to get inside the reach, though. Here is Pucheta. This one, again, 6-rounder. These guys have some time to work.
Samvel is definitely a sharpshooter. And he can do a lot. Look at that. He can do a lot of different things. He can set it up off the jab. He can feint, changes levels. Samvel looks good.
Just threw a shoulder into him there, and Puchetta looked like he got shot out of a rocket. And Gandilian has been successful everywhere he's been, Steve. 3-0 here in the U.S. Great start in his U.S. career, but 4-0-1 in Russia as well with 2 knockouts.
Yeah, they're definitely moving him fast, and you know, trying to give him as many opportunities as possible. You know, a lot of the boxers that come out of Russia.
Look at that. That was just changed the level, dipped down, and came right up with a hook. That's pedigree all day and all night. You can see the experience, and you can see this. He has this Armenian style as well. The way he carries his hands, lethal body punching. He's a really good boxer.
And I'll tell you, you almost have to take a second look at your notes, because Samvel is so composed, guys, at 19 years of age. This guy, he's got ice water running through his veins.
Well, I'm not wrong. This kid, he's 28 now, right? He turned pro when he was 19, but he's now 28 years old.
All right, well, there you go.
But the interesting thing about it, though, if he was 19, 7-0 would make sense.
Yeah.
For you to be pro now for a good 9 years and only have 7 fights, that's an interesting thing. I don't know if it's a matter of them moving him slow or what, but hopefully he gets busy. At 28 years old, he should be much further along. And I think that, you know, should he take care of business tonight, this fight should end in the stoppage.
Body shot there by Samvel, and I can cross that one off my bucket list. I just got fact-checked by Showtime Sean Porter.
Well, listen, first time I saw him, he looked like he was 16. He's got a baby face. If you look at his headshot.
I mean, the kid truly, he's 19 more than
you know, he is the babyface assassin.
There you go.
Aptly nicknamed. Targeting the body now is Samvel. That'll certainly slow down Puchetta.
Yep. And, you know, that's always been the thing. When you're in the ring with a Mexican fighter, go to the body. You go into the head, you're punching the wall. They take a lot of punishment to the head. Their weakness is the body. We see Samvel, you know, that pre-punch movement with the juggling of the hands and the changing the level as well. We should look to see him get to the body more with straight rights to the body, also that left hook to the body to really do some damage.
Puchetta is durable. I mean, I don't think he's going to fear the power of Samvel, because, again, out of his 27 losses, he's only been finished once, and he's fought 20 undefeated opponents. And look at him go now. Puchetta starts to get loose with his hands here.
I think this is how Puchetta wins a lot of rounds in a lot of these fights. I mean, even his fight last month, he lost a split decision to the hometown favorite, who was 10-1. And whatever Samvel's showing him right now, look on his face is like, I've been here before with guys just like you.
Puchetta, he's pretty good. I saw him just slip under a shot and then roll off the next shot, and then he rolled off of the next one. He knows what he's doing. You know, I don't know where his downfall is. It looks like it's just his offensive arsenal is very limited, but he's definitely a tough guy.
And level of opposition, he's 5-15 against those 20 undefeated opponents that we documented here. But he stays right in the pocket. Tough dude, not lacking any confidence, is Puchetta. Second of 6 here. Surgeon-like precision again here by Samvel. Putting some punches together here to punctuate the round.
Mr. Bash, I just want to go on record for saying I feel like this was selfish of you to put so many fights in.
Oh, everybody blames me for that. Believe me. Yeah, 27 fights over 2 nights. I do apologize, but the reason why we had 2 shows is because we had so many good fights added to tonight's show that I would have had to bump fighters. I would have had to basically say, hey, even though I said yes early on that you could be on the show, we're going to go to replays of this last round first, and I'll tell you the story of how we wound up here so long.
Nice flurry there by Puchetta. Sean, in your estimation, did he do enough to maybe, you know, force a draw in that round or maybe steal the round?
I think Puchetta might have won that round. I mean, Samvel's still, you know, getting his shots in and obviously, you know, showing the class of the fight. But you know, some of this brawling style and veteran savvy that you see out of Puchetta, I think is what wins him a lot of rounds.
In Puchetta, I just don't think he has, you know, any fear of Gandilian thus far, so he's staying right there in the pocket. He's gonna have that puncher's chance. He's got 8 knockout victories, best Puchetta out of his 14 wins. Big uppercut and a follow-up left. And the official, who must be the twin brother of Jerry Cantu, was warning him of holding down the head into that uppercut.
So yeah, either that or it's like, look, if I'm going to go out, then I'm going to go out as many fights as I can tonight. But you know, these referees, they get their assignments based on a certain card. There's obviously a lot of fights in the card, and you know, we've got Tom Taylor here tonight. We got Jerry Cantu, and I think they're just alternating until the end of the night. Yeah, busy day of shows today. There's a show up in Stockton, and I think there's 4 shows tonight in the state of California. Boxing, just boxing. I think MMA as well. Oh, nice body shot, left hand by Puchetta.
Love that. You know, Southern California, just all the state of California, just a mecca of combat sports.
And right now, Puchetta's able to throw in land on Samvel. You know, Samvel clearly is the more stylistic and classier fighter. We can see he's got more experience in terms of knowing what to do, when to do it. But he's got someone that's very tough standing across from him.
Oh, and Puchetta has a ton of real-world professional fight experience.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy comes in 14, 27, and 3. He's seen just about everything in there.
But for a guy that's only been stopped once in his entire career, this is definitely a guy that, you know, reacts differently even with an early knockdown.
Nice counter right hand right there from Samvel.
And that early knockdown was certainly a feather in the cap of Samvel. See if he can continue to capitalize here. Letting Puchetta stick around and kind of creep back into this fight a little bit and have some moments. Yeah, beautiful counter by Samvel. Good exchange here late in the round. Final seconds of the round here. Ticking away. And it comes to a close. Another round in which Roberto Puchetta showed his moxie, his toughness. Durable stayed in there. More great stuff, including up against the ropes there by Samvel. Some really nice, tight counter punches in tight.
All these rounds have been really good action rounds, and you know, that's what you love about, you know, these type of fights. There's the corner, mentioned Roma Kalantrian, head trainer at KMMA. Really, you know, Sean mentioned it, where there's certain gyms that, you know, certain good fighters come out of, and when those gyms get those reputations, you know, they have really large teams.
Yeah.
You know, that work on many different things, and there's Puchetta's corner.
And you know, the other side of that too is when you got so many good fighters in one gym, that means you just got a lot of guys around you that can help improve what you can do as a fighter.
Yeah, I mean, when I first got started in boxing, I mean, you know, the greatest days that I would spend is just going out to Wild Card. You were there, I remember seeing you there. But, you know,
wow.
and you know, just the sparring alone, you know, because of the talent level that is, you know, walking into that gym every single day, you know, that's the best education any boxer can get.
Yeah. What was Jerry talking about right there?
Retiring again? I don't know.
It might have been.
I'm almost out of here.
Might have been more
together.
Might have been warning of pushing the head down, you know, and we saw that there in the highlights there, that Samvel pulled him down into that uppercut, and Cantu was active in that world title main event.
Yeah,
Badu Jack.
Jerry got his money's worth on his
Took a
last
couple points
fight.
in there,
Yeah.
one apiece.
Damn, nice hook landed right
I was
there.
sitting next to
Another one.
nice
Counter.
exchange.
Damn. Overhand.
Round 4 or 6 here, and you know, do you want to see Samvel just up the output? Well, I guess right on cue.
Absolutely, 100%. That's what's needed. You know, it's only 6 rounds. You have to have a fast work rate even in 6 rounds.
And he's in there with somebody that is a tough out in Pucheta that's only been finished once in his multiple fights. So a good test standing in front of Samvel in this one. Test your patience for sure.
I'd like to see what Samvel's amateur background is like. He can really use the ring. He can do a lot of different things. I like him. Very relaxed.
Yeah, good footwork and showing some really good speed as well.
Don't see that a lot from 19-year-olds.
That are 28.
A 28-year-old, 19-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, I'm going to have to double check that. I'm usually pretty good with my stats. Straight left there by Pucheta, who hangs around. Don't tell him he's behind in this fight. Inside a minute to go here. Nice shot there by Samvel, and I do believe that Showtime Sean Porter getting some much-needed sustenance in back there. I hear some foil being unwrapped.
Yeah, that's all you're gonna hear. You ain't gonna hear no smacking, all right?
I heard the burritos are good at this place.
Don't wave that burrito in front of me. There's gonna be another fight here on the card.
Listen, our amazing announcer gave it to me. It would be wrong of me to let it go to waste.
Absolutely. And working off that jab, Samvel, and boy, these rounds going by in quick order.
No.
Oh, there you go. All right. Well said, Showtime.
Where's this going, Bash?
So actually, you know, we tape these and then we edit them and put them out all over the country, all over the world in edited episodes. So the folks that are going to be listening to this fight are going to be wondering, you know, whether or not we had a long night.
Got to have some fun with it. And let's relive some of the action there.
A round just like the previous. Body hit.
You saw Pucheta there kind of signing there that he thought he got hit in the back of the head. But
it's how he boxes. You know, he leans in. Look at that right there. He leans into his, and when that happens, a lot of times you're not doing it on purpose, but those punches go past the front of the head, and it, you know, sometimes blocks the back.
Round 5 of 6 here in this featherweight contest. We get into deep water here. And what a great venue Ace Mission Studios has turned into as well, Steve. Why don't you tell us how that all came about?
Well, that's fortunate. The folks that have just taken it over, it's actually the home of the former home of Apple Studios. And the folks that have taken it over are folks that have worked at venues that we've done shows before at, Exchange LA in downtown LA and Academy LA in Hollywood. And they called me and they said, hey, we're taking over a new venue. I was here on the 3rd day that they were here, and I just walked in. I was like, yep, I can work with this.
Wow.
It's a beautiful venue. I mean, obviously, you got to dress it up and turn it into a boxing show. We're only the 2nd event at this venue, basically, for these kind of purposes. Like, there could have been a morning show or other shows filmed in this soundstage, but it's absolutely wonderful. And Angela and Melrose and the folks that we've worked with have been absolutely wonderful for years, and we're just really happy to be here, and hopefully it'll be a new home for a lot more shows.
Love it. And, you know, despite that reach of Samvel, he does really good work when he's in tight as well. He's got some real nasty, sharp shots inside, Sean.
Yeah, he knows how to loop those body punches. You know, the trajectory just changes when you have longer arms, slim frame, such as Samvel. So you're right, but at the same time, he has to be responsible defensively, and he's got to keep his foot on the gas pedal because he's giving Pucheta just comfortable confidence.
That keeps him hanging around. Could be dangerous. Again, Pucheta 8 knockout wins of his 14 wins. And he's game. He's going to stay there. You give him an opportunity, he's gonna kick that door down.
Nice. Same thing. Change the level. Come right up with the right hand.
Continuing to move forward though is Pucheta. And given all he's got, we'll see what he's got reserved in that tank. Nice body shot by Pucheta.
Hey, Bash, another question for you. What's Samvel's management like? You know, again, to have 7 fights in 9 years is almost unheard of.
Yeah, so I don't know all the details, but I think, you know, a lot of the fighters that were in Russia, you know, they just don't have as many opportunities and get moved as much. And, you know, since he's come out here to the States, and of course they got to deal with visas and you know, being here legally and then being able to fight. But he, you know, he's been fighting more often. I mean, he fought in October a couple months ago, and you know, I think the goal now is obviously to keep him as active as possible.
Okay, good.
Final seconds of the round, and then we'll have one more to go here, barring any last-second heroics. And if you're Gandilian, you gotta be wondering, what do I gotta do to get this guy out of my face?
Well, you know, he's got a guy where no matter how many losses he's got, if he's only got 1 stoppage, you know you're gonna have to work for a maximum amount of rounds that the fight is scheduled for. And he's doing a great job of it, and I think he's, you know, he's feeling some of the Mexican style and the no-quit attitude of a fighter that anytime he gets him in the corner against the ropes, you know, he's gonna need to know what to do with it. Let's take a look at the last round.
Reliving some of the action here. Trying to keep him at the end.
This fight's Groundhog's Day. We're seeing the same round over and over, which, you know, again, isn't a bad thing. Bash just said it. For Samvel, you're undefeated. You're expected to win this fight.
This is the final
the adversity
round.
that you go through now is going to, you know, help him moving forward.
6th and final round. Mutual respect being shown between Escorpion, Roberto Pucheta out of the blue corner, taking on Samvel Gandilian, undefeated, 7-0-1, looking to stay that way. He knows what he's good at it, and he doesn't divert from it very much. It's working for him.
On another note, I don't really eat Mexican food. That's a good burrito.
I'm telling you, that food truck out there, I've had it for 2 days in a row, and it's really, really good.
Dig into the body here is Pucheta. Still trying to get something going here in this fight. He's in that position where
Look at the mat.
put up or shut up. Yeah, it is a it's a Pollock painting here.
It started with green specks. Now it's got a lot of red specks. So it's, you know, it's almost Christmas.
Great for the holiday season.
Yeah.
What are we doing for Christmas?
Coming over to your house.
Yeah, right. I'm not home.
More nasty body shots here. Look at Pucheta go. I mean, he's had some great flurries, great moments in this fight.
You know, the funny thing about Pucheta, it doesn't look like he's slowing down at all. Oh. It looks like he's moving with the same amount of steam he started this fight with. A lot of times when you get fighters that are used to taking beatings like this, and what I mean by beatings is he's used to getting hit a lot. He's used to having to hunt down his opponent, and when I get here, I'm just gonna work. This is my system. Walk you down, find you, and let go of some shots.
Yeah, he might need another animal nickname. I mean, he's a scorpion, but he's like the Energizer Bunny, man. He just keeps going and going and going.
Well, he's been in 10-round fights. He's been in 8-round fights with really, really high-quality fighters. So I think he would take another 2 rounds tonight.
Yeah, I really like his ability to dig to the body as well.
Big body punch. We heard it from here, right in our corner.
Might be the best round thus far for Pucheta, but of course with everything on the line and needing, for all intents and purposes, a finish to win this fight. Wouldn't expect any less, but still looking good in the process.
But for the guy who needs to improve, things like staying focused, things like staying aware, defensively like that right there, still being able to make your opponent miss and not get lazy lackadaisical, oh, I won. You know, there's still lessons to be learned at this point in the fight for Samvel.
No question about it. And Samvel has done enough throughout the course of the fight to put Pucheta in that position where he's got to go for broke, as he's well behind on the cards. You got to believe this one goes the distance and will go into the hands of the judges. Good test for Samvel against a durable veteran as we await the official decision. We'll see if that KD MMA camp can score another victory here under the bright lights in Los Angeles.
There's Roma always teaching, right? Always working with his fighters. I mean, he's an incredibly dedicated guy. I don't know how, I mean, including the MMA fighters, I don't know how many fighters they've got in that gym, but it's a lot. I mean, because every single show we do, you know, there's always 2 or 3 guys coming out of that gym.
Let's take a look back at some of the action.
Recap.
I love it. The official decision not even rendered yet, and Roma's already breaking down the fight with his man. There was that knockdown early on in the fight, but from that point on, Pucheta showed his toughness, hung in there, guys.
Yeah, you know, like I said before, it was Groundhog's Day. Every round pretty much looked the same, except for that right there. As the fight continued on, we had one fighter, Samvel, playing more defense, slowing down a lot more. And we had Pucheta at the end of this fight really trying to come on, excuse me, and just make something of the night. And you have to appreciate that about somebody like Pucheta. A lot of losses on his career, but still willing to get in there and fight with everything that he has.
And I think Pucheta probably, you know, won a round or two in there. Certainly that final round, and maybe one.
I think he took 2 rounds in this fight, and rightfully so.
Let's make it all official. Back to Thomas.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Tiffany Clinton scores it 58-55, and both judges Edgard Lopez and Dr. Lou Moret scored the same, 62-53, all for your winner by unanimous decision. And still undefeated, Samuel, the babyface assassin, Gandilian.
Good work there by Samvel, goes the distance, earns the unanimous decision victory. And another notch in the win column for KD MMA that has been extremely successful in this region, whether it's in the Up Next Fighting cage or right here in the ring. We're certainly going to see more of Samvel in action. Are we going to see more of referee Jerry Cantu? We will find out.
I think he might do one more fight tonight.
Coming up next,
he's hanging out.
El Torito Mario Hernandez takes on Angel the Kid Lozano. That's coming your way next in a battle in the light heavyweight division.
You guys want to know why I'm really still here? I don't have a ride back to the hotel.
I can arrange that. I can get that arranged.
Yeah.
I thought you wanted your opportunity.
I'm texting my guys right now, Sean.
You want an opportunity to be part of Steve Bash's commentary debut.
Listen, let me. Yeah, that's true. This is my commentary debut.
Here.
I'm going to tell you a story. I don't know how many shows. You know, some people count their shows and this and that. I don't know what goes on BoxRec doesn't, but I mean, it feels like it's been over 200 shows if you include MMA. But I've always thought if the ring announcer gets sick or doesn't show up, I'm going in.
All right, let's not hold up the action any longer. More on that in a minute.
Let's now welcome to the ring, Mario El Torito Hernandez.
Well, in the world of combat sports, oftentimes, as you started to mention there, Steve, and certainly in my world, of the pro wrestling world as well, they say always bring your gear. Never know when you're going to get that call.
I walked by the ring, I saw you alone there, and I was like, all right, it's my time, it's my show, I can do it. I got our director like really yelling at me in my ear, but I got to give all props to our production crew for 2 very long nights.
Take a good look here at El Torito Mario Hernandez. comes in with a 2-2-1 record, but he fought a Mayweather Promotions prospect in Eric Kedar, and it was a unanimous decision loss that many thought was closer than the cards would indicate. Also a questionable decision loss to Terrell Glenn. So his tough losses by way of decision. He had a good amateur career, and it's a family tradition, as it often is. His uncle Ernest Tango Gonzalez fought pro back in the 70s and 80s, as we now await his opponent.
And now let's welcome to the ring, the undefeated Angel the Kid Lozano.
Angel the Kid Lozano comes in a perfect 7-0. And Sean, 5 of those 7 wins coming by way of knockout.
Nice. You know, both these guys look pretty small for light heavyweight. What's 175 is the weight class for light heavy, right?
Yeah, well, you can see the weight there came in at 174.
Yeah. Both these guys are, to me, in my opinion, a little smaller. Look, 6'2" and 5'10", doesn't look like it. But I'm pointing that out because when you're 7-0 with 5 KOs at light heavyweight, you should have some power. So maybe this one, we're in the ring with 2-2. This one might be a little bit quicker than the last couple.
Well, I can tell you he definitely has some power, and I've seen it because aside from the 7 pro bouts, he's had, if you call them bouts or if you want to call them rounds, about 40 rounds of Team Combat League, the 1-round format, and I've seen him drop guys and stop them in 1 round. And so he's got a lot of experience in the last couple seasons or years, you know, fighting in that 1 round or maybe 2 rounds in a night format.
Nice.
So I think he's bringing a little bit of both experience in the pro ranks and then experience in this team format.
Had 4 consecutive knockout victories to start his professional boxing career. As you mentioned, competed in Team Combat League. And Angel 3-0 in the U.S., 4-0 in Mexico, combined 7-0 undefeated, as we set the stage for this light heavyweight bout.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the light heavyweight division. The judges are Edgar Lopez, Jack Reese, and Pat Russell. Our referee in charge, 3rd man in the ring, will be Thomas Taylor. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing blue with gold and weighed in officially at 173 pounds. Coming to us from Reno, Nevada, he has a professional record of 2 wins, 2 defeats, and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mario El Torito Hernandez. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing multicolored trunks and weighed in officially at 174 pounds. Hailing from Bell, California, he is undefeated with 7 wins. 5 of his 7 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Angel the Kid Lozano.
Okay, gentlemen, both belt lines are high, so we're going to the bottom of the letters here. We're going middle of the letters here. Gave you my instructions in the back. Protect yourselves at all times. This is my commands. Touch them up. Back to your corner, John.
Vital instructions given, and we're set for action. We take a look at how these two match up with the tail of the tape, gentlemen.
Pretty even all the way across the board, but you see right there, the kid is 6'2". He's got some height and just a tad bit more reach than his opponent. And the numbers don't lie.
There you have it.
I didn't see him, but you know.
I saw a real big knockout percentage for Lozano compared to Hernandez. But now you got another opponent that, hey, I've never been knocked out, so you know, let's see what you got.
Yep, no knockout victories for Hernandez, never been finished as well. And has a chip on his shoulder from his 2 losses. You know, it's funny, Sean, that you mentioned these guys look small for the light heavyweight division. That's Angel Lozano at one point injured his knee before getting in boxing. Get this, used to walk around at 250 pounds.
Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely would never have guessed that, but we've heard the same about Mr. David Benavidez. And I do remember seeing David when he was younger, when he was 15, 16 years old. He was a big kid.
Yep. Hernandez, aggressive thus far, trying to cut off the ring and back up Lozano.
I like it, man. Just smothering his opponent, not allowing that power to land that right there. The big right hand on the end of the shot is where that power is. So Hernandez working accordingly at this point, trying to stay close to Lozano.
Trying to keep the fight in the phone booth.
Looks like heads clashed.
Yep. Incidental headbutt there, nobody busted open. And continuing to push forward here is Hernandez, aggressive early, now going to work. Body and head, upstairs, downstairs.
Ooh, good body shot landed right there from Lozano. Very good body shot landed.
That'll change your attitude in a hurry and might slow you down. Good forward though, man. How about this output by Mario Hernandez?
I like it. Definitely intending to steal this first round, but can he maintain this kind of pace?
And we'll see what kind of gas tank he has. Had one slipped in there pretty low. And Thomas Taylor warning him there a little bit.
Nice chopping right hand right there from Lozano.
Yeah, Lozano now starts to utilize that 2-inch reach advantage he has. Started to work off the jab a little bit, but right back inside here is Hernandez. And to your point, might be in danger if this continues at this pace of punching himself out there, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, you would hope not, but especially at this weight, you don't normally see a lot of guys with this kind of work rate. So that could be a bad sign. However, at the same time, when you know you're B-side, you're not expected to win, this is the kind of energy you need.
Yeah, you got to love this too, Steve. You know, you got 2 of the bigger fighters on the card, and it's been all gas, no brakes thus far. They're bringing the intensity.
Big uppercut there. Nice 3 punches to end the round by Lozano.
And Lozano, so efficient there, kind of fighting off his back foot at the end, but great little 3-punch combination there. John, how do you see it after 1?
Very good first round. You actually have to give that round to Hernandez. I think Lozano landed the cleaner shots. Those uppercuts were beautiful. But outside of that, work rate, generalship, effort, you know, all those things, you know, we A for effort, right?
There you go.
There's Peter Karabastos. Peter the Greek, as we call him in LA. Everybody calls him Peter the Greek. Used to train at a wild card for many years and talk about good food, Sean. Had one of the best Greek restaurants in Los Angeles,
Nice.
Ulysses Voyage at the Farmer's Market for many years.
I'm just now getting familiar with Greek food.
Looking at the action here. And we're not serving up gyros, we're serving up some shots here, guys. And if anything, although Hernandez was the aggressor throughout that round, Lozano got some much needed momentum going in the final seconds of the round, and we'll see if he can ride that wave. But look at this, again, he's got Hernandez right in his face.
Ooh, big body punch from Lozano.
Yeah, Mr. Lozano is missing that basic punch, that jab. That jab is what you use to stabilize your opponent. Of course, the body shots will disable your opponent, but before you can disable them, you got to stabilize them. You got to find them. You got to keep them at bay. Lozano needs to find a jab.
Got to circle out of there. Staying composed, now it starts to go back to the body. Lozano started his career as 4-0 in Mexico, and then 3 consecutive wins here in the U.S., but he's being tested here by Hernandez, who his draw was with a 4-0 opponent. In fact, 11-2 combined record of Hernandez's opponents, so he's been in there with some tough opposition.
Well, like Sean said, I mean, it's a nice brawl right now, but if Lozano doesn't start with that jab, he's going to find himself on the ropes with Hernandez pretty often.
Listen, funny thing, here's the other side of that, right? So Hernandez is pushing forward. He's being really aggressive, and we're worried about him possibly punching himself out. But in the meantime, is he breaking down his opponent? He's punching on the elbows. He's punching on the arms. That can break down his opponent. By the time you look up in the third or fourth round, both these guys have slowed down. One from getting punched on, the other from punching.
I could definitely see that happening, but continues the output. Here does Hernandez. Lozano's got to find a way to improve his real estate. This is not where you want to be.
I mean, a minute left, and the punch output in this round has been tremendous.
Yeah, and most of them coming from Hernandez, and here you can see it, just extreme pressure that started at the opening bell, and so far the gas tank is holding up, Sean.
I mean, looks good, man. He's just digging. You know,
I think he kicked it into another gear in the second round.
I wouldn't be mad at that either. You know, I think it looks like that as well. You know, funny thing is, when you start like that right there, you start finding homes with your punches, it encourages you to keep going. It's getting late.
Well, we've had all this talk of Greek restaurants and burritos, but I'll tell you, the one who's most hungry is Hernandez.
Lozano got a big left in there.
Yeah, he did. And again, it's like Lozano just comes to life late in the round, but it might be a little too late. Can Lozano do enough to win the round late? Look at this work by Hernandez. This relentless pressure, guys.
I like it. I like it. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
Got to give a shout out to Eddie Rodriguez, who's the matchmaker on this bout. Think he made a great style fight. It's one of those good end of the night fights where you got two guys just going at it.
Yeah, we need to keep you away.
Yeah, that's right.
We, there's enough drama here as well. You know, people in here are excited for this young man, the kid. But the kid's getting beat on a little bit right now. You know, he's getting manhandled a little bit by Hernandez.
Yeah.
And I like it. Look, he's just punching. You know, not everything is landing clean. Not everything is landing flush. But you just keep working at it. And that's how you break somebody down.
And I don't think Hernandez is tired. Like, I've talked to him, I've met him. Not to say anything negative, but that's actually his facial expression.
Yeah.
I talked to him at the weigh-in, and I was like, he's like, he's got his mouth open, I think, actually, when he's just there. So.
And I'll tell you what, too, man, for 2-1 is Hernandez's record. If a couple other guys fought with this kind of energy tonight, this kind of work rate, some of those other fights would have gone a little differently.
Oh, no, for sure. He's got a draw with the 4-0 fighter, was undefeated at the time. He's always fought tough. And, there's a 500 record for a reason, right? He's fighting really, really tough guys, but he's always giving it to him. He's definitely giving it to Lozano. Lozano's giving back.
Yeah, that uppercut landed right there. I think that's going to become the thing. When is Hernandez going to walk into something that he can't handle?
There's 2 losses by Hernandez again. Semi-questionable decisions there. And so, better than his record would indicate, and certainly brought his A game here tonight. Now, you got to believe that Lozano has been tested in the gym and camp. He's gone to camp with the likes of former cruiserweight champ Badu Jack, who was in our main event, Golovkin, and other notable fighters. So he's been put in bad situations. You got to believe in training. He's got to find a way out of this, though. Every time he looks like he's got a light at the end of the tunnel, it's just a freight train coming his way in the form of Hernandez.
This is the interesting part about guys that fight 4-6 round fights and then go and fight a new format where they're 1-round fights. Like, I've seen Lozano fight a bunch of times for the LA team, and he's lost a bunch of rounds and he's won a bunch of rounds. But there's certain things. I think he's actually lost more 1-round bouts than wins. But I've also seen him knock out guys in the round.
Wow.
Well, 3 minutes is certainly, and those even
3-minute. Yeah, those are 3-minute rounds, and then you can take a break and fight another guy for 1 round. Right. A couple rounds later for your team. But that's it. But by the way, this whole fight is like one of those rounds because these guys have been going all out for all 3 of these rounds.
So you got the Team Combat League. Basically, there's teams. Everybody goes out there and fights 1 round, and you score a point for every round for everyone who wins a round.
And then it's a cumulative point score.
Right.
So let's say you got 15 team members. The final score is, let's say, 200 you know, 198 or something like that. So it's pretty fun. But I've always been curious how the box. Oh, look, Hernandez really giving it to him on the ropes now.
But Batch, to your point, why?
Ooh, big
nice.
uppercut, Lozano. Big uppercut. Looks like he hurt him.
Lozano getting started with that last-minute flurry a little earlier in this round. You know, he's been waiting to the end of the round to really uncork the offense. Continues to be under heavy pressure. And just, you know, Lozano have one shot, two shots here or there, but constant barrage by Hernandez. And you gotta wonder if Lozano was expecting this.
No, clearly not. Clearly not. You know, he wasn't expecting this. And something that needs to improve very soon, very quickly for Lozano is being able to box from the outside.
These rounds are slipping away, you gotta believe. I mean, that uppercut by Lozano, Steve, one of the best punches of the fight, but they've been few and far between for Lozano.
Yeah, Hernandez, there you see his corner, just, you know, making sure that he's got his energy for the second half of this fight, because he's definitely put a lot of work in, and I think that work is, you know, definitely giving him some rounds. Here's the replay.
Listen, I'm working for my bonus, and this young man is working for his bonus. This kind of work rate, if he's able to keep this up through the remainder of this fight, nice little pivot right there. That was the best thing that I've seen Hernandez do. Nice little pivot. Found an angle and continue to work, but the other side of that is Lozano stealing rounds with a simple uppercut that is the most effective punch, has been the most effective punch in each of these rounds, with the exception of the very first round.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but, you know, the replay sequence doesn't lie. You had a Lozano on the ropes for most of that round with Hernandez just putting work in, you know, throwing from different levels.
Just been smothering stuff
big
by
right from
Hernandez. And you can just tell by the body language of Lozano that his corner said, hey, it's time to pull the pin out of the grenade. A little sense of urgency time here.
Yeah, Lozano came out like a man that just lost the previous round, and definitely wants to take control.
He just doesn't have an outside game. You know, he doesn't know how to use the jab. I don't see the pivots and things like that. You know, at this point, it's going to be an uppercut or a punch that Hernandez doesn't see coming. I think Hernandez is winning this fight.
So far, certainly, it was sheer will and output. But Lozano always dangerous. Again, 5 of his 7 wins by knockout. We'll see if he's still got some power, see if he's got some heavy artillery left in that chamber. But on the flip side, Hernandez has never been finished either, guys, in his 2 losses, both by decision.
Wow.
Tough dude.
Yeah, very tough, and knew what the order was tonight. I like it.
And a good light heavyweight slugfest here. Great work by Hernandez, especially with just that never say die attitude. Making Lozano pay the price. There we go, Lozano doubling up on the right hand.
See the work that Hernandez is doing on Lozano's face.
Yeah, well, we postulated that maybe at this point in the fight, Hernandez would start to slow, but not much of an indication of that so far.
Absolutely not, absolutely not.
This dude is boxing as if he just goes to the gym and just bangs on the heavy bag for a good 10 rounds every single day, and then, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. Those punches look like heavy bag punches, right?
Got that old school style toughness that as Uncle Ernesto Chango Gonzalez likely had back when he fought pro from 76 to 82.
That's a good one right there, man. This Hernandez fights very old school. I mean, this is as old school as it comes.
You can see, though, as well, that Hernandez is wearing some damage under that eye. He's definitely eating some big power punches by Lozano. This hasn't been enough for Lozano to get ahead on the cards, but doing damage just the same. And look at this, another round likely to get away from Lozano. Good flurry by Lozano late, and that has been the case time and time again, but it just seems like he sits on it a little bit too long.
Well, we were wondering whether or not Hernandez was going to tire. Now we're going into the 5th round. He's basically had his foot on the gas the entire time. I think it's his first time going past the 4th round in the fight.
For Hernandez it is, yeah. Lozano, the only one of the two that has been beyond the 4th. So we'll see if that becomes a factor. There you can see the corner working on some of that damage that is on the face of Hernandez. John, what are we seeing here?
Oh, I wasn't looking.
We see the same thing we've seen in the first 4 rounds. We got Hernandez trying to pin Lozano off on the ropes. Lozano answering back, but the output, the volume of punches from Hernandez might be stealing him some rounds. But you know, they're taking their turns, which is making for a great fight.
Yeah, you know, I want Lozano. You're undefeated. Make an adjustment. Win this fight.
Thus far, it's been rinse and repeat. Somebody called Bill Murray. We've got a Groundhog Day sequel.
I don't want to use the word apropos again, but it's only apropos that this round starts on the ropes again.
There you go.
Sorry, that's the attorney in me. You got to.
I know.
I'm exhausted too, but I'll throw out those long words.
A little more activity here early by Lozano this time, and again, so far the gas tank of Hernandez has been up to the test. This is his first time seeing a round 5 thus far in this his 6th professional fight. I mean, trying to get away from Hernandez is like trying to get away from Jason Voorhees in Camp Crystal Lake, Michael Myers in Hadfield, Illinois. He just is right there constantly in your face.
Ooh.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, big combo.
But look, he doesn't have the gas. He doesn't have the conditioning to keep doing that.
Big right counter by Lozano. Hernandez still just sticking him in the corner there.
Right in front of our broadcast position. A lot of action in this one.
You hear Hernandez's corner to tell him, keep coming forward, keep coming forward. I did hear some calls for some jabs out of Lozano out of the red corner, but I don't know if he's hearing them.
Hernandez continues to throw here. Amazingly, he's eating some big shots in this round, though, by Lozano.
It's getting late, Bash. There's no cutoff time.
No, I get insurance through Sunday, so even after midnight.
Wow.
Yeah.
We might get there. Feel like that's something that you might have encountered at one point.
Yes, many years ago. I remember there was a fight at the very end of the night that had to end at 11:59.
Yeah.
Never made that mistake twice.
That'll cost you.
Now, whether we should be here past midnight is a whole different story.
But in the meantime, I told you guys, I said, listen, Hernandez could possibly break down Lozano. Lozano either just doesn't have the conditioning to keep up the punch output. When he does punch, he lands viciously, but then he doesn't, he takes another law, doesn't do anything.
And now Lozano, I mean, he's got to create some distance, you got to believe here, Sean, and that's tough to do against Hernandez, but Lozano's doing a little bit here, but precious time to work. And perhaps one of the more active rounds for Lozano, probably one of the more even rounds in terms of output, and I think Lozano was throwing the bigger shots.
I agree, yeah, that was a much closer round. It's you know, what do you want to do? Do you want to honor the guy who's undefeated and give him rounds because he's landing 1 or 2 big punches through the course of a round? Or do you want to give it to the guy that's truly controlling the fight, controlling the pace, and really winning rounds?
Yeah, it depends what the judges are scoring there. Is it damage? Is it sheer output? Let's take a look back at some of the action here.
Better round coming from Lozano. He let his hands go more this round than he has practically the entire fight. Beautiful flurry coming from Lozano right there. And now for Lozano, it's just a matter of continuing to find it, because guess what? Hernandez is going to continue doing exactly what he's doing, which is walking through those punches, and here I come with 5 or 6 of my own.
Yeah, because, I mean, where it looked like Lozano might have done enough to win that round, and now Lozano is coming out, firing, throwing some hurting bombs. Here is Lozano, and connecting, trying to bully around Hernandez a little bit. He is looking for the home run here.
My man throwing uppercuts off the wazoo with both hands, left hand and right hand.
Trying to hold on to that undefeated record is Lozano. He came out firing. How long can he keep it up? Same could be said for both. Using that shoulder to get some distance, then unloading, punching down on him there was Lozano.
Wow. Yeah. Man. For me looking at this, man, being a former fighter, I'm just, you're Hernandez. You're not going to be too healthy in the next 10, 15 years, man. This kind of work rate, it works for you in a fight in terms of winning the fight, but it works against you in a fight of life. You know, that's too much pounding. Yeah. We aren't made for that.
Gotta believe, oh, what a shot. Oh, he's wobbled. Lozano drops him. In the very last round, we'll see if Hernandez can answer here. Oh my goodness, what a come from behind victory for Lozano. It was heavy pressure throughout the fight from Hernandez until it wasn't.
Yeah, that was, you know, hey, listen. Hey, here's a Groundhog Words Day for you. I was prognosticating that right there. Yeah. I think Lozano just really, he made a decision to continue to keep going, and that's what I was calling for as this fight was progressing. You got to get to a point where it's landing, keep going. He did it, and the best thing happened for him, worst thing for Mr. Hernandez.
It was a battle of power versus pressure and persistence, and in the end, Steve, power won. Incredible final round knockout. Come from behind by Lozano. Let's take a look back at it. Man, oh man. Just so much ferocity in the final round by Lozano. There we go. That uppercut was a big weapon from Lozano throughout. Lead uppercut. And tripled up on the right hand, quadrupled, and dropped him.
Yeah, he had him hurt on that big first right hand and just went right back to it.
Wow.
3 times, 4 times.
Yeah. And a great point that Jack Reese, a phenomenal referee and judge, just brought up to me. He says, have these guys been eating anything? They're back there sitting in the back room waiting on the main event fights to end. They're in the back room for 6, 7 hours. Have they eaten anything? That too, you know, the nourishment through the night. You're not nourished correctly and things like that
I can tell you the promotion doesn't provide catering in the locker room, but hopefully they had some snacks.
Yeah,
all right, let's make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the official time. 1 minute 32 seconds of round number 6. You're winner by way of knockout victory.
Well, I'll tell you what, they were both, you talk about food, they were both eating a lot of shots in this fight.
Yeah. It looked like Hernandez was going to get away with one tonight. But, you know, as I was watching, I was like, something doesn't make sense here. And that right there is what does make sense. You know, that kind of punch output and, you know, wearing those kind of punches over and over and over, eventually it's going to have an extreme negative effect. And unfortunately, it did there.
Yeah, base hits versus home runs there, and credit to Lozano for having enough left in the tank and the power to seal the deal in the 6th and final round and to remain undefeated. Angel the Kid, Lozano, that was he's a man there. That was some man type stuff.
He needed that. That was what he needed. I don't know if he was going to win this fight fairly.
I'd love to see what the scorecards were going into that 6th round.
If that fight had gone to a decision, I don't know. But at the same time, he's got to develop a jab. He's got to develop a cleaner 1-2 from the outside. And he has to develop techniques turning through the ring.
More action coming your way as we head back to the ring. And Thomas.
Let's first welcome to the ring, Fernando Baena.
So we got out of the 28 fighters tonight, there was one fighter that would not give us his picture.
No pictures.
Yeah. So we're going Jurassic on him.
I love it. There you see it. Well, you know, a T-Rex is not made for boxing, what with the short arms and all.
Damn,
hey, kangaroos can box, so T-Rex is good.
Anything you could have went with, like going with a T-Rex.
That was Jeff Hybar, our TD and graphic designer. He had first dibs on what animal he was going to put in that picture.
Who we got here?
We've got
Fernando Baena. This is actually a fight, honestly. I wish it was earlier in the night. But this is an unbelievable matchup that I think is another 50-50 fight between two local fighters that are not afraid to face each other. And Fernando Baena immediately accepted a fight against Isaac Anguiano.
Southpaw out of Chicago as we await his opponent.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Isaac Little Devil Anguiano.
Both fighters come in with winning records. The Little Devil, Isaac Anguiano, comes in with a 9-1-1 record. 4 of those 9 wins by way of knockout. Only 10 amateur fights. He's been fighting in the U.S. and Mexico. The 22-year-old taking advantage thus far in his career.
That's Mr. Diabolito right there. That's a hell of a ring name, Little Devil. And you could at least made it Spanish, Diabolito.
I think the goatee is apropos.
A little lighter, you know? Yeah, it's a little lighter, you know?
Coming off of a March round 1 knockout over Juan Alvarado Garcia in Tijuana. Took him only 41 seconds. Nasty shot downstairs to the body.
Sean, you ever been down to some of those fights in Tijuana?
Never.
Because I don't know what goes down there. You know, a lot of local fighters
we can
will go
talk
down
about
there
it.
and get some wins.
We'll talk about it in a minute, but first let's let Thomas.
Okay, fine, Tom. Well, Tom, this is my first time, so let me throw to Tom.
Yeah, all right, here we go.
Oh, Tom's got me in his ear. That's a horrible for Tom. Here we go, Tom. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the bantamweight division. Our 3 judges aside will be Edgar Lopez, Jack Reese, and Pat Russell. Our referee in charge will be Chris Lieben. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing white trimmed with orange and weighed in officially at 117 pounds. Fighting out of South Central Los Angeles, California. He has a professional record of 5 wins, 2 defeats, 1 draw. 2 of his 5 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Fernando Baena. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing burgundy with white and weighed in officially at 115.8 pounds. Hailing from Pomona, California, he has a professional record of 9 wins, just 1 defeat, 1 draw. 4 of his 9 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Isaac Little Devil Anguiano.
Quiet down.
All right, gentlemen, bring it to the center. Center, gentlemen. You both had your instructions in the locker room. Okay, these shirts, we're gonna call fair line right in the middle of that writing. Same with you. Your foul line is right in the middle of that writing. Okay? Obey my commands at all times. Protect
This
yourself
guy
at all
been
times.
all night.
Let's go ahead and touch gloves. Back to your corner.
You got Chris Lieben, former tail tape coming up.
Yeah, final instructions there by Chris Lieben as we take a look at how these two match up. Both fighters in their 20th. In their 20s, two southpaw fighters going to clash here, guys.
Nice.
But how do you match up with a dinosaur? I mean, granted, you know, there might be a reach advantage, but there's some sharp teeth there.
Yeah. I have to drop an asteroid on him or two there. Put him into extinction.
What was the reason? Why wouldn't he do that? Nothing on the internet? Why wouldn't he
What's
do a
that?
picture?
I don't know. I think we just had too many fights and couldn't find it.
Wait till now to say we had too many fights. Unreal.
So how about them fights in TJ? Have you ever been? Let's get back to that.
Oh yeah, let's talk about a TJ fight. Well, like, you know, you see a lot of these local LA fighters, and you see, you know, really nice shiny record. But you see some of these TJ fights, and you just don't know what kind of competition they're fighting with, and they're just, you know, they're padding records. Like Todd, you mentioned that, you know, there was a 41-second knockout in the first round, but you know, who was he fighting?
Yeah.
And so, you know, you got to give credit to both of these guys because, you know, they didn't shy away from, you know, fighting someone with, you know, an equally, you know, good record. Both are local guys that have a good following. Selfishly, we did leave them a little bit towards later in the night.
And the people have stuck around for him, no doubt. You heard the reception for both.
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
And you got Pomona versus LA, and I'll tell you, for Bahena, originally out of Chicago, now fighting out of South Central. So you've got to be tough. And 80 amateur fights for Bahena. He's a two-time Southern California state champ. He's transitioned pretty well thus far. 5-2-1 as a pro.
Yeah, Bahena's looking to establish the jab. Some double jabs. There's a good exchange.
Here we go. Pomona versus South Central. 7 weeks. I don't feel safe. And this is going to be my last fight.
The Little Devil has got some devilish power in the body shots here. Some wicked stuff, fittingly enough, apropos, as you would say, by the Little Devil. Now we are right at the stroke of midnight here in real time. I don't know when you're watching the action here, but listen to that crowd as we are quickly going to creep into the next day on the old calendar. The Little Devil here trying to walk down Bahena. And again, those body shots,
Nice.
man,
Nice
oh
combo
man.
on the bar.
The hook right there from Bahena.
Bahena's trying to work out of it.
Bahena.
Is getting shots to the body thus far. And hasn't had an answer. Tries to work off the job now. Does Fernando. Final seconds of the first round. Good pace, but gotta believe those body shots by Anguiano, the Little Devil, was the difference maker. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Yeah, you know, that round was, there was a lot being done, but not a lot being landed, you know. But the body work of Anguiano, Little Devil.
Let's go with Little Devil.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm big on nicknames. I don't like that.
And the Little Devil does have a 3-inch reach advantage. He didn't really need it. He did more work when he got in tight here as we take a look back.
Yeah, you know, body shots being landed by both guys, but not a lot of work being landed. You know, nothing really precise and clean. However, Anguiano, more aggressive.
Yeah, and I mean, had some pretty thunderous body shots. Don't know if they got through completely clean, but certainly passed the audible test. They were bouncing off the walls here of Ace Mission Studios. Round 2 coming your way. This one's scheduled for 6 here. A little midnight madness between Bahena and Anguiano. Little Devil trying to close the gap here and go down to the body again. that's something that Barrow's going to have an answer for as this fight persists, because Little Devil is putting some deposits in the pang bank there, Sean.
He is, but, you know, this is bantamweight. We don't see a lot of stoppages, a lot of knockouts at bantamweight. These guys just don't have that kind of debilitating power. Even when you're putting in the deposits in the bank, you know, 6 rounds, how much can really be done? It has to be a flush shot to the body, perfect timing. The opponent has to also be letting go of a punch that leaves him open, letting go of air, and you're pushing the rest of the air out. This fight's gonna go the distance, and I'm gonna lead.
All right, well, there you have it.
Tired.
And I just ordered food for the crew.
Definitive statement there.
They'll eat it.
By Showtime.
Hey, this is our second time working together, man. I've enjoyed being able to hang out with you.
Oh, it's been great, man. Always a pleasure. You're always just, always a fun atmosphere with Showtime, too. Yeah. Even at midnight, you still have a smile on your face.
I don't know how I do it, but I do.
So remember when I said we turn these into syndicated episodes? I think we're gonna have to dub over this one.
We're gonna have to bring you two back.
My bad.
No, it's okay.
Listen,
I'll be honest.
I just want to say now, we got 1 minute. We'll talk about this fight. I think this fight's going to go some rounds, and these guys are definitely at a high level. But I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you. You know, Paulie, you, Todd. I'm glad you guys are working together, and it's really a blessing to have you guys work these shows.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the invitation. And I'm glad that I was able to do this tonight with Paulie. I'm a humongous fan of Paulie. Obviously, we fought each other. But beyond being in the ring against one another.
Big right there, yeah?
Big right hand right there coming from
Baena waking up here is Pharaoh. You talk about nicknames. He's being a little ferocious here. But again, back to the body goes the Little Devils. Good action, give and take, ebb and flow between these two. They are game. Oh, look at that. Little piston-like shots by Baena to the body. Little shoe shine action there. Final seconds now.
Bump off too. Baena, nice left hand from Baena. Nice. Nice.
Best round of the fight thus far by Baena. And we are going to take a little trip in the Wayback Machine. Hop in the DeLorean. We're going to look back at our main event.
Look at the picture with Mr. Cantu.
It was his, what a way to go out with the world title on the line. 28 years, I believe it was, officiating. Now, Gary Cantu's still going to be with the commission. He's still going to be a judge, but his last outing and great fight between Badu Jack the Ripper and Noel Michaelian, who made history. And I think really, you know, won those last 4 rounds or so and took home the gold. And it was kind of fitting that in rematch season, a lot of fighters avenged that previous loss. We're gonna go back to live action here. And we got a good one in the mix here between Fernando Baena and Isaac Anguiano. These guys have their fan bases in the house, a lot of bragging rights on the line. South Central LA, Pomona. You don't want to leave the ring here under the bright lights with a loss.
Baena seems to have found his range. He seems to have found the timing as well. He's been able to counterpunch Anguiano, unlike he was able to in the first couple of rounds.
Round 3 scheduled for 6 between these two bantamweights. Baena tried to triple up on the jab there, get a little range and work off of it. Maybe keep Little Devil away from more of those big body shots.
Also, real quick from me, champion mental health.
Yes.
Shout out to the Puerto Rico Podcast. That's my podcast. I do a motivational message at the end of every episode. I haven't myself personally dealt with a lot of mental issues or anything like that, but I understand how real it is. And so being able to be here and support that foundation was big for me tonight as well.
I love the message, and I don't know, Steve, if you can talk a little bit on that, but as you walk around, you see those big tile stickers saying you are enough, and both these guys looking to be enough for the opposition. And what an action-packed round this has been. Give and take.
They're really both showing mental and physical fortitude.
Yes.
You saw Baena, really have his moments, and then Little Devil answering back. So
Bash, fortitude is too big too. Okay.
what's that?
Fortitude, that's too big too. Let's pull back a little bit more. All right.
Well, it's color commentary, right? We got to add some big words and.
I'll do you one better.
I'll leave that one alone.
What's that? Okay, right. Well, see, here's my problem. So my problem with doing color analyst or color. No, here's my problem. My problem is I've been trying so hard not to throw an F-bomb or curse.
Oh, that's so funny.
And say something wrong, but
that's so funny.
But did he really? Was he cursing all night?
No. You know, Paulie is you know Paulie, man.
But I'm
Paulie,
I'm trying to like give some NFL, I don't know. I guess maybe I don't. Fortitude's not that big.
No, intestinal fortitude. We'll even add to it.
I made the mistake of referring to Brandon Adams as a poor man's version of me on my podcast. And the only reason why I said that is because I thought it sounded good. I wasn't, It is.
Again,
this is a great commentary booth for 12:08 a.m. right now. This is what happens when you get past midnight. We just kind of start losing it.
Not sure when you're watching this action, but it is 12:08 a.m.
Yeah.
Ray Flores flying to Chicago to catch the Bears game, but we're here bringing you the and look at this crowd. Look at the energy. They've got lots of fortitude.
What the Mexicans do.
And even though we might be a little loopy here, guys, with the hour, this has been a great fight, very competitive.
It's a great fight, and you know what? I knew we got replay, and you're gonna see in action the replays of two guys that I knew were gonna put on an unbelievable fight.
And then there was a moment where Lozano got stunned. I'm sorry, Lozano. Excuse me. Anguiano, yes. He got right there. He got stunned. And then he finds his way to come right back. Like, how?
No, that sequence was, early in the round.
My last fight
was the fight that we thought was going to happen in this particular matchup.
And we saw,
Can I use the word particular?
Yeah.
Tripling
wait,
up.
What was it? Hold on, wait.
Fortitude.
What was the word?
Fortitude.
No, not
particular.
that. All right, we'll allow it. We'll allow it.
Both guys showing what they're made of. They've got abdominal fortitude as well, I'll tell you, with all the body shots.
They've both exchanged a lot of body shots. I see this, Little Devil is both of them actually, we'll start with that jab, but, I think what you're seeing from Anguiano is what has been winning these rounds, in my opinion.
I'm not scoring this one. I clocked out a little while ago. But I'm doing the best I can to enjoy it.
It's certainly two well-matched athletes here. It's been ebb and flow, give and take.
Yeah, you know
great
what?
work by both. A tough one to call, honestly.
And honestly, yeah, like on that note, to give them their respect, they are entertainers and they are athletes. And both of these guys truly are performing as good athletes that could have easily been on this card much sooner than this hour here.
You can see the sweat flying here. We are very much in the splash zone, and some power shots being thrown there moments ago by Little Devil.
I don't like the splash zone. It's a funny quick story. We went to SeaWorld. My son's 5 years old.
Now I know why you stand up away from the table.
Yeah, exactly. That's what that is. But my son's 5 years old, and he wants to get splashed by the killer whales.
Shamu?
Yeah, and we get there, and the show's over. I said, we'll go to another one. We get to the next one. Now we got a clown who's literally throwing water on people. Threw water on somebody right next to my son. He didn't get wet. He said, hey, I didn't get any water on me.
The only precipitation we have here is rainfall of punches, and they are bringing it. Are both here.
I was just gonna say, Little Devil's been evil and definitely splashing around
Yeah, this is his round. I think it's his fight to lose. But at the same time, Baena is showing some good stuff for himself as well. He's able to find a way to continue to come back. But you talk about being a ring general. You talk about dictating this fight, this pace. As a whole, it looks like Anguiano is the guy.
Yep, Little Devil looking good. And Sean Porter catching his second win on commentary there. That was well said.
Anguiano.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Final seconds of the round now. 4 of 6. It has been a good one. Now you have Ray Flores, who of course is on his way to break the -20 wind chill factor in Chicago. Your thoughts on the opposition, the Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders?
Yeah, man. I thought Shedeur should have come in a little sooner. You got 2 rookies that you have to rely on. You should have looked at them both much sooner than now. I don't think it should have taken an injury for Gabriel to step out and Shedeur to step in. All that being said, Shedeur has really shown himself. It's going to be a struggle for him no matter what. He's a rookie. We know what the history is like for most rookies in the NFL. I'm looking forward to seeing what Shedeur is able to do in that cold weather. I don't think it benefits him tomorrow night at all.
And it's been a struggle for both these guys. It has been quite a battle. Now, fun fact as well. My nephew Lance Kennelly, when he was a rushing defensive end at Stanford, sacked Shedeur Sanders.
Oh wow!
And Coach Prime on the sidelines did not look all too happy.
Good stuff, man.
Well, looks like the Browns, both the Browns and the Bears, have a really bright future ahead with their quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, I mean, you really can't say that about Shedeur yet. He just has the name. But Caleb Williams, that kid is balling out. Sure is.
I feel bad for the person that's got to do the closed caption on this one. And great battle, though, here as we are getting deep in the
We're
fight
just getting
here.
into the studio. I'm going to dub over it at this point.
Round 5 of 6. And we'll see. Sean Porter mentioned that it is.
Sean, we're coming to your house to actually call this fight.
Little Devil's fight to lose.
So
over
funny.
Christmas.
That's so funny.
And we'll see if that's the case.
Yeah, right.
Just think the pressure to the body by Anguiano has been the difference maker throughout this fight, but we'll see. Time will tell. And a testament to the conditioning of these two.
I think the worst thing that could happen is these guys slow down. They have slowed down this round, and that's really the worst thing that could happen in this fight. It's been a competitive fight. It's been, somewhat fun to watch, and I want to see both these guys finish strong.
Fun to watch, more fun to listen to, I think, actually.
I like the fact that, they've both got a nice fan base that have come out. They're on their feet. They're enjoying a good fight. That's what making these type of fights is all about.
Yeah, no question about it. They both came here prepared, good camp, ready to win. Both come in with a winning record. And Anguiano trying to bully him up against the ropes there, uncork some more of those body shots. Nice little uppercut there.
Looks like our judge is trying to get out of the splash zone as well.
Oh, I saw that. That was nasty. He's all the way up on the ring, and somebody's ass touched him, and he had to wipe his head. That was just nasty.
It's all fun and games till that happens. Half a minute to work here in round 5 of 6. And, you talked about the pace slowing momentarily. Do you think that they're saving a little something in the gas tank for the final round here, Sean?
I think more than anything, both these guys are foreign to this 6-round fight on fight night. It's one thing to spar, but then it's another level on fight night. And I think both these guys are just a little foreign to it. And, they're going to really push through in the 6th round. It's going to look like they intelligently saved something, but in fact, it's like, hey, I don't know what to do. This is a round that I haven't had to operate in yet. They'll get past it and be better.
You look at this crowd, Steve, and it is, at this point, 12:17 a.m. Wonder if the food trucks are going to come back and serve breakfast burritos.
I don't know, but I just got Raising Cane's for the guys in the back. It's coming.
I mean, look at the energy outside the ring, inside the ring. It really is a party atmosphere here at Ace Mission Studios. And you got a fight that's very much still in the balance here with 3 minutes to go. You know, definitely some close rounds throughout, you got to believe, Sean.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Some close rounds. Again, you got one guy, one loss, another guy with a...
Boy, I love that overhead shot. Look at that thing. Reminds me of Muhammad Ali laying a guy out.
Final round here. They have battled all the way into the sixth and final round. We'll see who's got that little something extra in the gas tank. See if somebody can punctuate this fight.
Is bantamweight 126, 122?
Bantamweight, I think, is 118.
They are,
118.
They
Keep going.
Contracted at 118 here. Oh, big looping shot
nice
upstairs
body
and
shot.
downstairs by Anguiano.
Yeah.
Good work right there. Ooh, nice overhand left right there coming from Anguiano.
Baena gave him a counter right as well.
Sure did. See what these guys have left in the gas tank here late in the fight. It's been a good one.
And you're worried about that, huh?
6 knockout victories between the two. Bahena with 2 knockouts, 4 for Anguiano. If either now, we mentioned at the start of this fight, Sean Porter mentioned that he thought it would go the distance. Getting closer and closer to that, but it has been action-packed and it has been competitive.
Yeah, it has been competitive. You can't, I don't think either of these guys have clearly, decisively won practically any of their rounds. You know, you can look at Little Devil as the ring general, but at the same time, you know, the work rate has been matched, punch output, and punches landed, all that.
Couple decent shots by Bahena in there as well, though. And yeah, I think, you know, to your point, more times than not throughout the fight, Sean, it has been Anguiano that has been dictating the pace and leading the dance.
Pretty even fight, but it's, you know, I'm glad these guys have been able to maintain this kind of work rate and keep it interesting for the fans here.
Inside a minute to go. What do they have left? Will they put it all on the line when we get some last second fireworks here between these two?
Both these guys really want to win this round, that's for sure.
Yep, the corner's saying throw everything. Go time. I'm done court. Inside 30 seconds now in the fight. 6 competitive rounds of action.
Ooh,
digging in the body.
That was sexy. That was nasty. Ooh.
Final seconds of the fight here. The corner's saying let the hands go. They do. Woo. And we had a fun one here. Iron sharpens iron. These two young athletes bringing out the best in each other here in the early morning hours. So this one will go to the judges' scorecard. And we will see who gets the Duke. Let's take a look back at some of the action. It might help us paint the picture of who might have gotten the advantage in this fight. I really do feel the Little Devil's body shots might have been a big difference maker in this one, guys.
This is what we saw the most of. We saw the most of Anguiano's back to the middle of the ring and him backing up Bahena, excuse me. And
that was good.
Yeah, that's a little bit better, but that's what we saw the most of. You know, he was being aggressive. He was taking the fight to his opponent. And Bahena, more than anything, just finding moments to do that right there. Come back, make every round just close enough. But I think Anguiano is going to have his hand raised tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I think all that aggression and all that action from Anguiano could be the difference maker in this fight.
Time will tell. Some good moments there, though, by Baena as well.
Just a couple of moments where we really thought some big punches were landed and something big might happen, but it did not.
The crowd here at Ace Mission Studios was invested in this one. A lot of pride on the line, a lot of bragging rights. Both fighters return to the middle of the ring, and we will head up to Thomas and make it all official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Jack Reese scores it 60-54.
Whoa.
And both judges, Pat Russell and Edgar Lopez, scored the same, 59-55. All for your winner by unanimous decision. Isaac Little Devil Anguiano.
A devilish good time for the little devil there. Gets it done, and it's just a shutout on the cards.
I think the right guy won, but I thought it was a much closer fight than the scores.
Agreed.
Agreed, 100%. Fellas, you guys have a great night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll catch you on the next one.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being part of this. I thought it was, I had the dream, just crew with Tom and you and Paulie and Ray and Todd coming in. This was like an Opus show type of thing. So I really appreciate it, Sean. Thank you.
Catch you on the next one.
Okay.
All right,
Appreciate
thank
you,
you.
sir.
That has been Showtime Sean Porter. Always a good time. He has put in a ton of work throughout the weekend. And we're going to take a look back at some of the action from the rematch season pay-per-view. You had Tristan Hand in there, the influencer, ran into a buzzsaw in a pay-per-view of a lot of fights that went the distance. This was one heck of a furious finish. These two had sparred before, and then things got real in there for Hand, who paid the price. Look at that big shot. Looked like a Pez dispenser when he got caught. If you're watching us live on Star Fun Stream, we got one more fight for you. It's time to fight on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the super welterweight division. The judges are Lou Moret, Jack Reese, and Pat Russell. Our referee in charge will be Jerry Cantu. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing black with gold and weighed in at 151 pounds. Coming to us from Tecolotlán, Jalisco, Mexico, he has a professional record of 8 wins, 8 defeats. 4 of his 8 wins come by way of knockout. Let's welcome Sergio El Checo Garcia Herrera. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing black with gold and weighed in officially at 151.2 pounds. Hailing from San Antero, Colombia. He is undefeated with 9 wins. 7 of his 9 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Jose Matador Vargas.
Set for action in the super welterweight division. It'll be Checo Sergio Garcia Herrera out of the blue corner, 8-8 500 record. Taking on Jose Vargas Quintana, 9-0 for Quintana. 7 of those victories by way of knockout. So he has been dangerous. And don't fight Vargas in Colombia, his native Colombia, where he is 6-0 with 5 KOs.
Jose Vargas coming out of Forge Boxing Club and has been really, wanting to fight for a while. I think he had some immigration, just processes that need to come through. So he's been out of the ring for 763 days, which is about 2 years.
Yep, 2 years and a month, and a lengthy layoff due to that, but certainly in fighting shape, and made his U.S. debut in his most recent fight. It was a round 5 knockout over Melik Birdsong, who was 14-0-1 at the time, fighting Thunder Studios in Long Beach. Guys have the ability to turn out your lights, and for Checo, he's fought in 6 different countries in his last 7 fights. The likes of U.S., Mexico, the U.K., Ukraine, Canada, Bermuda. Well-traveled. And Herrera dropped a former top prospect here in Malloy in the U.K. And going to work here is Herrera. And big shots being thrown, big left hand there as well by Vargas. So a couple of heavy hitters here, Steve. Todd Kennelly and Steve Bash here with the call of the action. Coming to you from Southern California, Ace Mission Studios.
Yeah, so Herrera definitely the quintessential journeyman. Not only going to different cities and states all across the U.S., but definitely traveling to different countries, and it says something about his abilities to face up to some of the world's best boxers, and it looks like he is representing himself well in the first round.
Yeah, and trying to take advantage maybe of that layoff of Vargas, and for Herrera, he can catch you, because he had a unanimous decision win over Elias Diaz, who was 15-2 at the time. That ended a 6-fight skid for Herrera. So don't get lulled into a false sense of security with Herrera. Could be deadly. 2 powerful athletes here doing battle. 6 rounds scheduled. See if we get there. First round here. And both guys have been pressing the pace early. Herrera starts to try and work off that jab. Big looping right hand to follow. Good exchange here. And final seconds of the round. Evenly fought round between these two. Nice combination late, though, by Vargas. Good action throughout.
Vargas' team was calling for some body work, and he definitely delivered towards the end of that round.
Take a look at the crowd here in Southern California. Herrera trying to get past 500. He's fought some tough opposition, though. Originally out of Jalisco, Mexico. We mentioned has traveled the globe looking to test himself. And Vargas, despite, that layoff, trying to pick up where he left off. Again, 9-0, 7 knockout victories, 27 years of age. He's looking to make up for lost time, Steve.
Looking to make up for lost times, had some injuries, some managerial changes, but, we'll see if he can shake off the rust and, deal with the very savvy, veteran.
Exciting first round of action. Round 2 coming your way here. 28-year-old veteran, or not 28 years old. He's had a rough 28 years, but 28 years of experience for Jerry Cantu. Reaching the end of his referee career, will still be a judge and an official.
We are officially watching Jerry Cantu's last fight as a referee.
Yeah. How about that, man? 28 years of service, great battles throughout the years.
And you got to give credit, to the California State Athletic Commission. There's, several judges that, referees that have retired as judges, as referees, and are now judges, including Jack Reese, who is one of the judges for this particular bout.
Great production here. We saw that bird's eye view moments ago, and now taking you right inside in the ring with the action here, and we'll see if somebody can get the advantage. Did you give either fighter the edge there in round 1, Steve?
I thought it was a pretty even fight. I think Vargas closed out the round pretty well, so I think Vargas took the opening round.
Herrera, though, definitely has been applying a lot of pressure throughout, and we'll see if he can maintain it.
Nice right hand.
Yeah.
By Herrera.
Backing up. Vargas here. Vargas battling off the ropes, though, with some nice counter shots of his own. These guys both have some power in those hands. Fight very much in the phone booth right now. We'll see who'll get the better of this exchange. Trying to change levels there was Herrera.
Just going to say, Herrera's shown a nice arsenal of punches. Starts with the jab, goes back with the right. Coming in from underneath. Looking for his spots, looking for his openings when he had Vargas against the ropes. But now Vargas has Herrera in the corner, and Herrera gets out. Nice right hand on Herrera.
You know, and if Herrera can get the victory, you know, it's not going to have an asterisk and say it's not going to say he gets the victory after a 2-year-plus layoff. It's going to say that he defeated a 9-0 opponent. And you could just tell that Herrera, very aggressive, and it's not lost on him the magnitude that this win would be for his career. Put him in the win column, get him a winning record, but a big win over an undefeated opponent could do wonders for what his next step would be.
Absolutely.
I like the aggression of Herrera. Really tries to cut off the ring, and he has done so pretty effectively here. Be careful not to hold the back of the head. Big looping shots by Herrera. Vargas got to get some distance here. He's been backed up too many times. Body shots now by Herrera.
Vargas is setting answers back, but he's finding himself in very, very bad spots, including now. Nice uppercut by Herrera and a straight right to end the round.
First round was tough to call, but I got to believe that was a more decisive round in the favor of Herrera.
Absolutely, I agree. You know, like I said, Herrera's showing a really wide arsenal of punches that could spell trouble for returning Jose Vargas. Let's take a look at those variety of punches.
That was good work off the ropes there by Vargas. But more times than not, it was Herrera walking him back and going to work. Here you see a look at it. Good work and good stuff, though, again, off his back foot by Vargas. So competitive fight thus far. Pivotal fight for both. Vargas trying to remain undefeated. Herrera trying to move to a winning record. Something's got to give here in this 6th-round battle. Third round here, off and running. Time to fight on here from the City of Angels.
Vargas's fans edging him on. I think they know that he probably lost that last round, and then he's going to have to show, oh, there's a nice left by Vargas, a nice combo back.
It was definitely an effective round for Herrera, was round 2. We'll see if Vargas can answer. Certainly expect him to. Been a fixture in Colombia and has found success here in the U.S. as well. 2-0 in Mexico as well. 6-0 Colombia, 2-0 in Mexico, and the lone U.S. fight was a victory. See if he can follow it up.
Vargas has a cut over his right eye.
Yes.
The blood is definitely trickling down.
See if that affects him, and it's just going to be more of a sense of urgency for Vargas. And you know, if we get a look, you know, did you happen to get a look at the location of that cut?
It seems close to the eye, and you can see the blood trickling down. I'd like to see you know, the cut man work in the corner if Vargas can obviously survive this round. It looks like Herrera's definitely taking advantage of it. Can't quite see if it's, and then it looks like Jerry Cantu's going to take a look at it. And it looks like the doctor's going to take a look at it. It's definitely a cut that's, you know, gushing.
Yeah, it looks like he can. The doctor's going to let him continue.
All right, fight will continue, and you'd hate to see the fight ended on that laceration.
Well, if you're the doctor and you want to give the cutman a chance to work on the cut in between rounds, see how it looks, coming into the next round. Clearly not affecting Vargas's vision. Whether it's affecting Vargas's effectiveness is left to be seen.
Yeah, if anything, it lit a fire under Vargas. Gotta believe he's seeing red, but again, the pressure of Herrera has been finding a way to back up Vargas. Nice uppercut, and going down to the body is Herrera.
The pressure of Herrera is so far the story of this fight. Vargas is clearly answering back, which is surprising. Vargas, looks like it has a big physique, so you figure, he could try to muscle Herrera, into the ropes or into the corner, but it's been Herrera who's been tactfully working Vargas into the areas where he wants him and going to work.
Vargas wearing a lot of damage, and it is going from bad to worse here as Herrera continues to unload. And to your point, and it looks like it will get out of this round, and the corner and the cut man of Vargas are going to have to work on that cut.
Well, the next 60 seconds are definitely going to decide it. Cutman goes right to work, and I think that's going to dictate, what the next round is going to look like for Jose Vargas.
So we don't know if we're going to see a finish in this one, but we certainly saw a finish on pay-per-view. And we are going to be taking a look back at the Hollywood Law Center knockout of the night. Hollywood Law Center knockout of the night. You got an influencer there coming in. So, and Robert Daniel Jr.
Tristan Ham, one professional fight with Le'Veon Bell, who I've seen fight on a previous show that I did. Le'Veon Bell was in the house tonight. He actually texted me a little while ago. And even though, that fight went the distance, there's something about fighting a professional boxer, and there's certain levels to this game, and I think that's what we saw tonight earlier on.
We're told that with that knockout of the night, he's earned 6 months of free legal advice in the state of California from Hollywood Law Center, for all your law needs. If you need cash, you gotta call Bash. Hollywood Law Center.
I don't know if the viewers know that Hollywood Law Center is affiliated with Stephen Bash, but if they don't, they clearly know now, Todd. All right, let's get back to the fight, because we've got a bloody mess in Jose Vargas. Let's see how he responds from being cut in that last round in round 3.
He has run into a buzzsaw in the form of Sergio Garcia Herrera. And going to work here, a chant of Vargas as the faithful are trying to urge him on, but he's wearing a lot of damage. Cutman had to work on the cut, but you can see he's still causing him problems here.
He did not get rid of the crimson mask that is Jose Vargas right now in the 4th round.
And man, this has been a very, very aggressive Checo Herrera, who is hungry for this victory. And again, you got to wonder if the layoff of Vargas played any role, but and don't count Vargas out as well, because he's got 7 knockout victories, and it might take his 8th if he's going to win this fight. Starts to battle back, does Vargas.
Vargas battling back, but the saying is that an animal smells blood, and Herrera definitely smells blood and is continuing to put on the pressure with a variety of punches.
Yeah, you mentioned it. We're here in the Hollywood area. The very first blockbuster was Jaws, just celebrated 50 years, and Herrera is the proverbial shark smelling blood in the water here. And that face is quickly becoming a mess for Vargas.
Vargas seems like he's relying on looping one-punch, hopeful answers. And Checo is, checking him, right? Checking him with that jab, working to the body, setting him up. And referee Jerry Cantu has called time again. It looks like he's going to have the doctor, David Diaz, take another look at that cut, which clearly is not being contained.
You Gotta love the aggression of Herrera.
Doctor definitely is looking more concerned about the cut. Having a conversation with Jerry Cantu. He's gonna let him continue.
We're gonna continue here, but might really be a sense of urgency here for Vargas. It's gonna become more and more of a factor, and it might be dig down. You mentioned that Vargas may be looking for that one big looping shot. He might need it. He might need to connect on it. He's gonna win this fight. Getting deep into round 4 of 6 here, and the more things
big
change,
uppercut by Herrera.
Yeah, the more they stay the same. Herrera keeps just pressuring and unleashing. Herrera looking pretty darn good as an 8'8", 500 fighter here. But again, someone who has fought all around the globe and has fought some tough opposition. Herrera started 7-2 with 4 knockouts, and he's back to his old form here. We'll relive some of the action, and Herrera has just been relentless, just a pressure fighter. And I think really, you know, it was such an even first round, but it's really been all Herrera ever since. There you go, yep. Throwing the heavy artillery for certain is Herrera, but we'll see with 2 rounds to work. We will see if the 9-0 Vargas, whose undefeated record, very much on the line, very much in jeopardy the way things are going. See if he can bite down on that mouthpiece and do something to swing the pendulum of momentum. Doesn't seem to be panicking, does Vargas. Keeping his composure in there, but has got to uncork some offense, start to climb back in this fight. He certainly has some fans behind him here trying to urge him on, but it's been tough sledding against a very aggressive and driven Herrera. Nice stinging jab there by Herrera. It backed up Vargas yet again. And, telling you, man, Herrera very impressive at 8-8. But again, he has faced some tough opposition. We talked about coming off of a win over a 15-2 opponent. So records can be deceiving, as we know. Inside a minute to work now in round 5. And continuing to move forward is Herrera, and that has been his MO throughout the fight. Well said. Definitely affected by the output of Herrera. It's just, you know, it's tough to get some going when you got somebody constantly walking you down. Hard to find your range if you're Vargas. Certainly not going the way the 9-0 Vargas would have hoped, but in final seconds of round 5, Herrera continues to throw with great output and hungry for this victory. 1 round to go. Vargas with his back against the wall, his back against the ropes many times in this fight. Can he capture some magic and find a way to protect that 9-0 undefeated record? He's going to need a little more than a little love. He's going to need a hell of an effort. Just never know where they're going to pop up. I wish one of them would come and clean the blood off of my notes here, as we have been in the splash zone a couple times throughout the night and in this fight. Final round. And we'll see if Herrera can continue on this course, which would, be one of the biggest victories, if not the biggest, of his career. Can the 9-0 Vargas do something about it here in the final round? Time will tell. Big right hand by Herrera. Going to work. Well, it would be the first loss for Vargas, and that would be doing it in grand fashion if you're Herrera, if you could finish him. But we'll see. If you're Herrera too, you got to feel that you're well ahead on the cards. No reason to make any unnecessary mistakes and risks. And maybe it's just not having enough left in the tank. But are you surprised at the pace here of Vargas and not being a little more relentless? Because it's got to be go time for Vargas. It's now or never, you got to believe. We talked about it. Checo has checked the chin of Vargas throughout this fight. Certainly great performance by Herrera. Certainly a resurgence of sorts. Guy that has been well traveled and might find a very big victory in the bright lights of Los Angeles if this continues. Inside a minute to go here. He has been outworked. Crowd still holding on to the shred of belief that Vargas can find a way to do something about it. It's been a tough go for the 9-0, and that might go here. Inside half a minute to go in this 6-round fight, which the will of Vargas has been tested. And you certainly can't question the desire to win here by Herrera. These two look very even in round one, and Herrera has just been unflappable since. Fight comes to a close, goes the distance, and one heck of an effort by Herrera. And if he does indeed get the decision, that's gonna feel pretty sweet for him to improve to a winning record and defeat an undefeated opponent.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's going to be upsetting for Vargas to be back in the ring after over 2 years of being out of the ring. But Herrera went to work tonight. He's a workman-like fighter, and let's look back at the action. Vargas started out aggressive, had to work off the ropes for most of the fight, but Herrera seemed to have answers, and as soon as Herrera had Vargas on the ropes, he knew what to do.
Just kept pushing forward throughout, did Herrera. Obviously had relatively early in the fight, had Vargas wearing some damage, that big cut. on the eye, and that was something that rented some space in the head of Vargas, as did the constant pressure of Herrera. Now, Vargas caught him with some shots here and there, but they were few and far between. Just didn't have an answer for the output.
They were few and far between, and they weren't that effective. They did not affect Herrera. Herrera was comfortable in that ring all night. He went top, he went bottom. He changed levels on Vargas. You know, oftentimes with that jab, but then back to the body. There's that uppercut. There's that right hand. There's a little left. I mean, literally, you know, he gave him the kitchen sink. You know, Vargas was looking for a big looping right hand most of the night, and Herrera gave him a huge arsenal that opened up a big cut over his right eye, and he should come away with the victory, that being Sergio Garcia Herrera.
Yeah, Vargas showed a lot of toughness surviving there. Herrera did everything but finish him. And we are going to head back into the ring momentarily as numbers are being tabulated. Thomas Driver will make it all official and put a cap on a fantastic weekend of professional boxing in the Southern California region.
There's the Vargas faithful, hoping for a gift, if that could be described as such. And the decision's coming in pretty soon. There's a scorecard in Thomas Driver's hand.
All right, let's head back to the ring. Thomas to make it all official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Dr. Lou Moret scores it 58-56, and both judges Jack Reese and Pat Russell are in agreement. They both scored the same, 59-55, all for the winner by unanimous decision. Sergio El Checo Garcia Herrera.
Well, if you're fighting Herrera, you better double check Checo's record. Now improves to a winning record of 9-8. Put in the work, even first round, and then just had his foot on the gas pedal throughout. You got to be impressed with the effort of Herrera.
It's a well-deserved victory for Herrera, and definitely impressive. And let's take a look at a huge night of action, the rematch for Rematch Season. Haley Leonard avenged her first loss. And then another rematch, Gloria Munguia and Brooke Cibrian, with Cibrian coming out on top this time. Robert Daniels, the boxer, versus Tristan Ham, the outdoorsman. But the boxer boxed, and that fight was stopped early.
The Hollywood Law Center knockout of the night, by the way.
Yeah, the Attorney King Rolls Royce rolled in, and Johnny Mansour Magic rolled out with a victory and some sort of WBC belt. And in the world title fight, another rematch for Rematch Season, and another decision that went the different way. Badu Jack, the world champion, in a very close fight with Noel Mikhailian, did not win the world title tonight. We have a new WBC Cruiserweight world champion. And the tallest light welterweight that I know, 6'4.5", Deni Davtian, still uses his distance to cruise to an unanimous decision. And his stablemate, Samvel Gandilian, drops Puchetta in the first round. Puchetta gave it all he had for 6 rounds, but Samvel with the victory. In one of my favorite fights of the night, that ended in the 6th round with a knockout by Angel Lozano. And the little devil, Isaac Anguiano, got the victory.
Anguiano, man, went to the body. Good stuff there. And then to cap it all off, how about Herrera taking the O from the previously undefeated opponent and did so in emphatic fashion. Well, it's finally over. A weekend that'll leave you breathless. Great stuff. We'll see you next time. For Steve Bash, for everyone that has shared this incredible commentary table over the weekend, Paulie Malignaggi and Sean Porter, Ray Flores, for Rain Cruz, for for Thomas Driver, for our great production team. We'll see you next time when once again it's time to fight on. Happy holidays, everyone.
Look at that Christmas red and green on the mat.